The guys, what's good, fellas?
Yeah, yeah.
What's good? What's good?
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Yeah.
The back half of the week, man. This week went by fast. Flew by like crazy. The fact we just here not so long ago. We back up at it. How y'all feeling out there?
Good vibes, good vibes. You know, approaching the weekend.
Yeah. Any plans? Y'all got the plans this weekend?
No, I'm laying low this weekend. I'm getting closer to my vacation, so I'm laying low before a little travel.
No doubt. How about you, Coop? Any plans?
Nephew's getting baptized.
That's what's up.
Memphis bound.
Oh boy.
Correct.
What part of Memphis?
Hold on. South Memphis. Yeah.
It's Orange Mound territory, I think, isn't it? Orange Mound?
Ish. But there have been some Coopers that have stayed in the mound. There have been some relatives. My mom's mom is from Tennessee, so we got family. Knoxville, Memphis, and Nashville now. So yeah, but headed to Memphis. Okay. Exciting.
What's up?
Salute to your fam, man. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Well, this is the type of shit that I've got that I've missed so much over the years. So I'm just excited that I get to be there and be part of the memory. So.
No doubt. Yeah, man. But salute to the family. Salute to you guys for what y'all doing out there, man. That's some good stuff, Coop. That's a good way to start the show, man. That's a good thing, man.
You're right. But Sean, the way that you talk behind the scenes, man, I just want to get some holy water.
Come on, bro. We're not gonna do that, man. Can we get a Coop's corner?
Y'all don't understand. The stuff that gets said before this show starts, it's I hope we never do a behind the scenes of anything, because
that's facts.
We'll never. First of all, the thoughts of Sean even running any sort of political office is frightening. But it's over for you, AG. It's over for me. Our kids won't be able to walk around with their heads held high. None of that.
You gotta have personality, man.
That's how I feel about that.
Got to have personality, man. It's crazy out here. You know what I mean? That's why I talk to you guys behind the scenes. I don't bring it out here. so yeah, gotta relax.
Maybe one day for the people,
Yeah, no, not at all. That's gonna be like that. That's the Patreon. We do have the Patreon.
Director's cut.
Director's cut. The Patreon movement.
Yep.
So cool. You good, man? Can we get a Coop's corner? While people start coming into the chat, and we lost Coop already. And we're 2 minutes in.
Man, there you
go. Cool. Can we get a corner to get the show moving?
Yeah. So I was thinking today, as I was watching fencing on the Olympics today. Who the hell really cares about these sports outside of the Olympics? Where do you go to train for this stuff? Am I missing a part of the world that exists where it's y'all remember badminton being played and handball and where are people going to train to play handball in the Olympics? Fencing.
YMCA for the handball.
YMCA? Is that where we're training our Olympic athletes now?
For the handball joint.
Is that what's going on? You notice how we don't even know who the swimmers are until the Olympics. I think the Olympics is kind of in a lot of ways I realize it's this shit is propaganda too. It's they get us hyped up for a whole bunch of events. I don't know anything about these shits. Do you know that? I don't know anything about these shits.
Hey, Coop, you want to know what my joint is? The curling. You know that joint where it looked like they Swiffering and shit? On the ice.
See, comments like that are why me and Sean believe you're just one of you and your family are just 5 of the 10 black people in West Virginia.
See, now y'all putting on me. Y'all putting on me.
That's my joint, man. They be going crazy, trying to scrub in front of that.
Today. What if I didn't want to watch gymnastics? Curling. What the fuck is curling? Just go play ice hockey.
Right.
Go play hockey.
No, I agree.
So my corner today is that this country is still trying to find a way to take our money and take our eyes. You keep your eyes on the prize. We need to pay attention to the shit that we do. Track and field. No, too soon. Track and field.
Been running for next. Next, they'll make that pickleball all the rage in the Olympics.
Yo, pickleball was crazy in San Antonio.
Like breakdancing is an event. Do you go to like the Breakdance Academy now? Is that where you go to hone your breakdancing skills now?
Good point.
It's no longer the money for the kid to go to breakdancing school, to breakdance in the Olympics. Is there some sort of sponsorship that comes with that program?
It is. We need to find them joints for our kids.
Yeah. Not where I'm at.
No, I just want people to be mindful of just like the Olympics. It's like I realized today, it's like, everything's a money grab. Everything's like to grab your attention, to get you invested in something that's not really real. So those were my thoughts today.
No doubt. No doubt.
While I watched some gymnastics I didn't want to watch, and then had to watch handball. By the time it got to the women's game, which is what I wanted to see, the women's basketball game, by the time it got to the game, I was tired of the Olympics. I was like, man, I kind of burned out on watching.
Remember in the Olympics, you would be trying to watch an event you wanted to watch, then it would cut away to show something random that you ain't care nothing about. Away from.
That's like when you and me are talking and having a great show, and then Sean starts talking. That's exactly what that is.
Coop fired the shots today. I like it.
I love it. It actually, because he's doing it organically. And but I didn't do anything organic because I'm always thinking about chess moves. So now we finished with Coop's Corner. Let's go into Sean's fact. We're going to go.
Oh no! Wait! We didn't sign off on this segment.
Hold on. Let me go pull up the show itinerary right quick because I don't believe I seen that shit in the itinerary.
Sean's quantifiable facts.
What are we
doing? Quantifiable facts. So Coop and I did
that. Where's Dax and Andrew at? Who okayed this?
So shout out to Todd. She's gonna go crazy when she see this. Sean's quantifiable facts. So Coop and I did a show on Sunday. We did a brunch on Sunday, and I thought to myself, where was Coop wrong and where was Coop right? So I decided to do a quick segment for my fellas saying quantifiable facts where Coop was wrong. Coop said that he would go with Hakeem Olajuwon over Prime Shaq. And so what Sean did, he went and did some research. And guess what he found? He got
the graphic.
He got the graphics that showed that Coop was actually wrong. Oh, here's another one where Coop was actually wrong. Prime Shaq over Prime Hakeem any day of the week, any day of the month. We also found some more stats. Very shocking here. Prime Shaq, numbers out of this world. These are quantifiable facts, meaning you cannot dispute these things. We also found something else. Hakeem Olajuwon was phenomenal in the finals, but he wasn't dominant like this in the finals. So here's where Coop was wrong. Now, I'm a good guy, so I'm going to say this. There was also a place where Coop was actually right. So Coop encouraged me to go back and listen to the Will Smith album, and I did. Great album. Willie Style is phenomenal. Specifically, Coop said, Sean, there's a song called Welcome to Miami that is in a top 20 percentile of all hip-hop songs ever with choruses and also the distribution of lyrics. I went back and listened to it, and Will Smith left this earth on Welcome to Miami. So I was wrong and Coop was right. Welcome to Miami is one of the greatest mic performances of our generation, just like Coop mentioned on Brunch on Sunday. So I want to give my salute to Coop because you encouraged me to go back and listen to this phenomenal piece of work. Big Willie Style was a phenomenal album. Welcome to Miami, from everything, the orchestration of the song, from the template to the chorus, everything. Even having the lady in the background saying, "Welcome to Miami, Imi Yami Ani Yani." That was even an actual piece at the check at the top of the cake. So Coop, I thank you. You allowed me to go back and make myself better for Hip Hop Talks, to be a great partner for you and to be a great partner for my man AG.
I've never been so glad to miss a show in my life.
If I may.
Coop, it's all yours. I wasn't on that show, so the floor is yours, bro.
First of all, I just like to say this is why nobody likes you. So, very plain to see why nobody likes you. This is petty. It's bad when I'm calling something petty and childish. Understand that it's petty and childish. Now, I actually said that Shaq's finals numbers are phenomenal. which they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I also said I would take a Prime Akeem over a Prime Shaq about defense, not offense. So I know Shaq is the most dominant offensive player between the two. But defensively, I'm still taking Akeem. It's very petulant of you to take the time and the effort, the pettiness. People need to understand the pettiness that has to exist within you to take the time to actually provide visual aids. You actually provided visual aids, references, statistical data. You put together a small project.
I was bored.
Yeah.
But
Apparently,
I go through this all the time, Coop. You have no idea.
AG, I think he spent more time doing that than he did prepping for the actual show.
Yeah,
Probably.
he did.
Probably.
Don't let Sean get one up on you in anything. I would just say that from experience, man.
Quantifiable facts. I didn't even know that was a fucking segment.
I'm sorry, I had to. AG told me to. AG said, "Yo, man, just give you a quick."
That's wild.
Shaq is better than Prime Akeem. Don't let Coop get away with that one. I said, "Thank you. I needed that." He put the battery in my back, so I had to go back.
Next time you miss a show, I'm gonna tell everybody you're in Iceland having plastic surgery.
Yo, my bad, Coop, my bad. Yo, but
not BBLAG. Damn, you'll do it like that.
Yo, that is crazy. Yo, but real talk, man. We had a great show last week. On the actual brunch on Sunday. We did a good job without AG. A lot of people was on there giving us some love. We talked a lot about mental health. We talked a lot about physical health. And unfortunately, cool. And I had this conversation just about losing some of our legends at a very young age. And unfortunately, that afternoon, we lost another legend, Chino XL, at the age of 50. There was nothing disclosed as to what was going on with his health. No one mentioned anything. I was checking all the socials and kind of getting an idea of what happened. His family did release a statement, very light statement, saying that he passed away they were at his bedside when he passed away. So that tells me a couple of things. It could have been something maybe medically that took him out of here. But rest in peace to Chino XL. Definitely condolences to his family, those who were impacted by this loss. For the hip hop community and those who love him, man, those who rock with him, and those who really look at him as one of those. You know, he was one of what they call the verbal assassins, a very quick, witty guy. Someone who, I mean, hell, we don't want to think about the bad things, you know, the drama, but, you know, someone that Pac went after at one point, right? So that means you had to be something for Pac to mention you in some capacity, some form of a threat. For him to just, you know, pass away at 50 years old, just on a good feature, on a Rockim album, killed that track. We talked about that last week, but we lost another legend, fellas. So please, react. What y'all feeling? What y'all think about this?
You know, rest in peace, you know, to Chino XL, man. He was one of the, you know, dope lyricists of the era we came up in. And like you said, you know, he's just coming off the feature on the Rockim joint. Chino XL, he's, you know, his name's not really in the algorithms, you know, that much, you know, in recent times in hip hop. And it was just eerie to know that he was just on that Rockim joint. And, you know, it was relevant for the current time. And then, unfortunately, he passed away right after that, the day after. So it was shocking news. But, you know, rest in peace to him. And like I said, one of the dopest lyricists, you know.
Feel like a broken record. Got to just take better care of ourselves. Like, I mean, Sean, did we not literally talk about this like a couple of hours before it happened?
Just talked about it. We did.
About 2 or 3 hours before it happened, I believe you and me were talking about live. I was literally having a conversation. It's like there is something going on within how Black men, in particular within the hip hop populace, take care of themselves or lack thereof, because we have had too many people die of some sort of medical cause from the ages of 45 to 55 in particular. But if you go to actually 40 to 55, the number just like it's getting to be absurd. We've lost, you know what I mean? it seems like we've lost more great artists than we've gained great artists. Actually, you know what I mean?
Facts. That's a whole word. Facts. Facts.
Chino XL is somebody that when he first really started getting notoriety on the scene was looked at as a type of lyricist that was on par with an Eminem, a Mos Def, a Big Pun, a Ras Kass, a Canvas. He was looked at on that level as a lyricist, maybe not in the totality of being an overall artist, but as like, you know, as far as the bar work is concerned, definitely very precise. Did a lot of the same things Eminem did, a lot of shock value and punchlines and witty, not I don't know what the word is, not necessarily made for TV, you know, for a man of his skin tone and stature. It seems like it's a little easier when Slim is doing it. That's not a shot at Slim. It's just the way the world works. That's logistics. That just is what it is at the end of the day. But sad to hear the news, Sean, because it's like, I mean, well, we just got done talking about it. And then I got the news and I was like,
yeah, just talked about it. We literally went through a whole, I think we did like, what, 30 to 40 minutes talking, you know, health and just.
Like, it's not cool to be like tough on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be a tough guy, don't be like tough on yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I'm like, no, drink some water, wake up in the morning and get in the shower and let your body like soak in like a hot bath sometimes, you know, like put some witch hazel on your damn face so you stop looking so old and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, take care of yourself, you know?
Take care.
Go get some pedicures with the foot massages while the lady talk about your feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go take care of yourself, nigga. You know, for real. Eat a salad.
Yeah.
Get a smoothie.
Drink water. Hydrate.
Drink water. I drink water all the time.
Yeah. The simple things, man. The simple things.
I told you behind the scenes, I don't even drink anything else really outside of water, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, rest in peace to the legend. Rest in peace to the legend. King of punchlines, the king of, you know, witty one-liners, you know, just all of those things, man. And again, rest in peace to him. God bless his family. Please get them through this challenging time in their lives with his passing, and hope they can continue to heal and move on from it. You know, it's gonna be tough, but his legacy is still here. Music, visuals, all those great things. So again, rest in peace to Chino XL. On a more lighter note, Marvel might be back, fellas. Marvel might be back. We're not going to do a deep dive here. Just want to give shout out to Marvel. And actually, the Deadpool and Wolverine movie crossing 600 million threshold for all of our Marvel fans. 600 million out the gate. 600 million.
600 million.
600 million. 600 million.
It might get close to cracking 2 billion. I'm thinking it might hit 2 billion.
Might hit 2 billion. So for all of our Marvel fans out there who's been following it, I know we have a lot of Marvel fans in the chat, in our Discord as well. Hope y'all got a chance to see the movie. No spoilers. We just want to give a salute to Marvel, give a salute to Disney, give a salute to Deadpool and Wolverine. They have a massive following out there, and we just wanted to make sure that we pay homage to them. Several people hit me up and say, why not y'all just give a shout out to Deadpool and Wolverine for hitting on 600 mil? And we just want to pay homage to that. AG, anything for you before I move on?
Yeah, I love the movie. Me and my kids went to see it. It was crazy, hilarious, dope action, funny. Like I said, no spoilers or anything, but just to tie it back into music, it was something to me that was pretty fascinating. As far as like the algorithms and increasing streams, as you know, Sean, you saw the movie. It's a pretty dope scene in there that has the backing track of Bye 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 by NSYNC, which is a huge massive pop hit anyway, from, back in the day. But if you go on Spotify, and I'm pretty sure on Apple too, they're getting in the algorithms because that scene went viral. And if you go on your streaming service, if you go in NSYNC and say bye bye bye. It has in parentheses from Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's like, you know, they're putting themselves in those algorithms and, you know, trying to up them streams by, you know, of course they had to be cleared to be put in the movie, but I just thought that was interesting that it actually says that on the track, you know, when you bring it up on your DSP. So, you know.
No doubt. Marvel might be back, fellas. Might be back. So again,
600 million?
600 million. They might be, that was as of this morning. So they're tracking to hit, I think, 800 million by tomorrow.
But this is nothing new. They're the only, Marvel's the only franchise property to amass over 30 was it 30 billion at the box office. So they got over, you know, comprehensively 30 billion between all the movies.
No, I get down with Marvel. Disney, I'm gonna, you know, keep that to myself today.
But yeah, like, they got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got at least about 7 or 8 movies that's to hit the Billy mark. You know, so I don't think this is gonna be any different.
No,
that's not a cult following. That's a mob.
Yeah.
Like they make it seem like it's cultish. 600 million isn't cultish. 600 million is a continent
for a rated R movie,
and it hasn't been out a full week yet. Well, it'll be a week today.
It's actually 2 continents.
Yeah, you're about to hit a Billy by the end of the weekend, more than likely.
It means the world is watching that.
Yep,
everyone's watching it. That's why we shouting them out.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, you got to. It's a good one.
It's great.
It really is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great. You'll laugh the whole time. It's like that.
A lot of fanfare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trust in your word. Mostly AG, not Sean, but
come on, man. It's me.
Nah, you earned that, Sean. You earned that today.
No.
Damn, AG. You just turned cold again. Damn. So speaking of turn cold, yo, cool. Your boy Benny cooking up something, man. What you hearing? What you hearing out there, man? I know he has the Buffalo herd thing going on, but he's also cooking up something for the fans, man. What are you thinking? What do you think this may be?
I mean, it's probably another project. We shouldn't be surprised. This camp is notorious for dropping multiple albums during the span of a calendar year. So hearing that, I mean, when did Everybody Can't Go drop? February?
Yep, it was January, I think.
January?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the very end of January.
Going into February.
Seems like forever ago. It's crazy.
Well, that's just kind of the way the climate works now, but that's part of the reason why we're probably getting some new music in some sort of shape, form, or fashion. Now, the fashion that we get it in, I'm not really totally sure about. I would like to see a Griselda album again right now. I think that would be good.
Big facts.
I think that would be good for everybody in the camp right now, because everybody in the camp can kind of bring their crew, and maybe they'll do what the firm couldn't, which is like to kind of like let everybody really like get their best shot and take their best shot. Like imagine right now what a Griselda project looks like. It's like you have the opportunity to have Stove. I mean, first of all, Conway, Benny, Westside. You know what I'm saying? Like you got that, but you got Jay Skis and Love the Genius from Drumwork. You know what I mean? You know, Stove been riding shotgun for a minute with Westside. You know what I'm saying? So you got Stove, you got BSF, you probably got Armani Caesar in there somewhere, Rome Streets, you know, Che Noir's crew, Che, Ransom. Like get everybody in the room like on some Chronic, like on some Wu-Tang type, and I think that would be good for the whole camp as a whole right now. Benny has actually proven himself to be a very consistently solid album maker. It's not like Benny makes bad projects. Like you would think from the way that we react and we behave in this rap community after he drops something, you would think that these albums are bad. Like when I go back and listen to like Tana Talk 4, it's like, I'm like, no, it's a really dope album. When I go back and listen to Everybody Can't Go, I'm like, no, that's a really dope album. I'm not the biggest fan of Burden of Proof, but I'm like, no, that's a pretty solid project. You know how I feel about
that's my favorite out of the 3.
Huh?
That's my favorite out of the 3 you just named.
I'm sorry to hear that. I am. All apologies. All apologies. I'm so sorry that you feel that way. Santa Talk.
That's crazy.
Santa Talk 3. Plugs I Met. Plugs I Met 2. Like, no, these are all dope projects. These are all good to great to really great projects. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, we have such lofty expectations for him, but it's like also too, we might need to stop being so damn hard on him a little bit. And I never thought I would be the one to say that, but it's like somebody that really, just because he's not making It's Dark and Hell is Hot, which I'm going to actually be talking about a little bit later when we get to another one of our subjects. Just because he's not making that album doesn't mean he's not doing his job.
He did that to himself, Coop. Don't do that. He did that one to himself.
He did do it to himself, but what I'm saying is that he does also consistently give you a quality product.
He does.
It might be that mind-blowing product that we all want it to be. Like, how about this? We're going to talk about this later. People want him to make a Purple Tape level album, I think, because they hear like that level that he can operate on. And I've heard it. We've all heard it. We've heard Gods Don't Bleed, Crowns for Kings, Brutus, George Bondo. Like these are just like the Griselda stuff, like on him and on the other albums. Like, he's got it. So it's not a question of that. I think we have been hard on him for not delivering. So I'm just thinking that this is just another project from a really, really consistent MC.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking more so to see if Stove God is gonna drop something. I need the Stove God album. Benny, you had a chance. Respect to Benny, but I want to hear Stove God. I won't be mad at Stove God. Go back to like today and just crank out something that's a reasonable drop part 2. Give me that. Give me a reasonable drop part 2. I'm satisfied. Straight up. And I got to give a salute to you, Coop, because you was the one who put me on Stove God in a reasonable drop. Mm-hmm. You did a review on that joint, and I was listening to it. I think it was like last summer. I had last summer. No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I listened to that joint like for weeks. I'm like, damn, Coop, spot on with this joint, because I wasn't checking for it. I knew Stove God from back when he messing with flip mode. So I was like, what's Stove doing? And I mean, that review, man, put me on. I'm not going to front.
Jose Canseco, man. Like that verse to me, that's one of the best like feature verses of this era, in my opinion. Like as far as like one verse, it's like, no, if I was making like top 10 feature verses, like of the 2020s, it's like, no, Stove on Jose Canseco would be in my top 10. It's that type of like scene stealing. It's like, who is this guy and what the hell have I been missing out on? You know what I'm saying?
Going crazy.
What have I been missing?
But it's time for another solo, like Sean said. He's been serviceable on a bunch of features, hooks, everything. It's time to put that energy into his own project.
He has, like I said, to a lot of ways, he reminds me of a modern day Method Man. Mm-hmm. And I mean that in high regard. Like not like, in like, oh, well, Meth didn't make this or make that. It's like, no, I mean that like in a wonderful way where it's like when he gets on a record, well, he is the scene stealer on the record. Very much prime Method Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of method to his hook game and to his charisma and like star power. And it's like, I just want to hear it all put together. I want Westside to executive produce it though.
I can live with that. His confidence is through the roof right now. It's time to put it out. Pause. Yeah. Like it got to get there.
So, Conductor handling most of the production, you think?
Yeah. Again,
Conductor.
Look, go back to the Reasonable Drought. Go back to that. Do a part 2.
Reasonable Drought is great.
It's great. A lot of quotables on that album.
Killers in the raid. Yellow face. Hey, I'm gonna break Pyrex till it break. Yeah.
Let's get it, man. But back to Benny. Benny is actually he's doing it's a Buffalo Herd thing. It's a Buffalo Herd Fest. It's August 3rd. If anyone is in the actual Buffalo area, go support Benny. Fat Joe will be out there. Ballistic Man will be out there. It looks like it's going to be on the Buffalo Herd, upstate New York, Buffalo to Rochester. Shout out to my family over in Rochester as well. My cousins out there. But it's like it's going to be a pretty good event that Benny's being part of. I'm sure that's when we probably going to get an announcement over the weekend. If he's working on something, if he has something cooking, we'll probably hear about it at the festival. But again, Shout out to Benny. Shout out to Griselda. We're hoping to have something come out pretty soon. Cool. You mentioned Conductor. So Rosenberg posted something about Drake and Conductor actually possibly doing an album together. I'm gonna get your reaction first, AG. Then I'm gonna flip it to you, Cool. What do you think about this, AG? Do you think this is the right move for your boy Drizzy?
I think it's the wrong move as far as what I would say to do, but I mean, and I'll elaborate on that further. I think that overall it's the best he can do if he's going to put something out. I'm still subscribing to the fact I think he should fall back, a little bit longer, let the people miss him a little bit. We had this discussion before, you know what I mean? But if he's going to come out with a project, if it's a project full of, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, them type joints, then yeah, I'm here for it, because Drake can do a passion fruit or a one dance, them type joints in his sleep, right? And the casual fans that's going to be dancing and vibing, to those songs, those are not the ones he needs to impress in this moment. You know what I mean? He needs to put out a joint with Conductor, kind of like a la Scary Hours 3, joints where he's spitting, getting lyrical, because you can take your L and still save face. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's in a situation where he took the loss to Kendrick, but you can still save face by dropping a dope rap project versus getting back to, the reggaeton joints, the UK sounding joints. Like, leave that stuff alone. He has so many demographics that he has to, feed as far as his fans, but I'm getting to all y'all later. You know what I'm saying? I need to get back to spitting and letting these people know this is what I do. You know what I mean? I might have took the L, but this is what I do, and you're going to respect my pen or whatever. So I think that's the best thing he could do if he's going to put something out soon. But I still subscribe to the fact that, there's nothing wrong with falling back for a little bit longer and let the people miss you a little bit. And then, then when the bat signal go up, then you come through. So.
What you think, Cool?
I dig the intent, but I don't really necessarily know that I dig the motion, but understand why. It's the type of motion. Well, this really isn't his motion. He really doesn't move this way. And so him moving this way lets me know that losing this battle has affected him. But I like the intent, because this might be for the better. Because, and I've been saying this for a while now, well, if you're actually listening to him, let's put everything to the side. If you're actually just listening to him, he has made his best work in the last 10 years when he's been rapping. Those have been the best songs. And so if those are the best songs, the thought and idea of him working with Conductor is saying, no, I notice, because I'm the artist, that these have actually been the best types of songs that I've been making. That's the best thing to double down on when you lose. And so I like the intent. It just feels like the intent is coming from a place of having lost the battle in terms of the motion. The same way I feel like a lot of these views that the other artist is getting is because he's talking about this artist, because if he was talking about Lupe, it wouldn't be all these hits in terms of views. And people call me a hater. It's like, no, I'm not a hater. I'm just paying attention. So I would tell you I like the intent, but I don't like the motion. But his best songs the last 10 years have been like the rapping ass rap songs. So rap. And Conductor right now, to me, in my opinion, I mean, is it safe to say Conductor's a top 5 producer right now? I think that's safe to say. Top 5.
Yeah,
like
currently,
right now.
yes.
Like right now. Like if we're last 2-3 years, you don't think?
If he's top 5, he's at 5. He's right at 5.
I mean, hit out Metro. I can put him at 4. I can put him at 4 and feel totally comfortable putting him at 4. Yeah. I would go hit out Metro, and then, you know what I'm saying? And then I would go Conductor, actually, if we're talking the last 2-3 years. Yeah. So I think it's a good idea overall. And this is what I keep on saying about Drake, and then we can kind of slide. Well, you're Drake. It's going to do some sort of numbers and traction. All right.
Indeed.
Next.
Indeed.
Next.
And that's kind of what I was saying. Like, it's whatever he puts out is going to do numbers anyway. So you can miss me with all the like, well, I gotta please this demographic. Like, forget all that. Like, he could fart on a record that's going to sell some. So, you know, get to rapping. And I think this might be the closest chance. You know, he gave this the 6-pack with the Scary Hours 3. This might be the chance where he finally buckles down and releases a whole rap album.
Well, see,
you know what I'm saying?
See, and here's the thing with that. What if the other guy doesn't make the better rapping ass rap album?
No, don't do this, cool.
You see the pettiness in the move? Do you see the pettiness in the move? As in, like he might, like I said, I don't like the motion because you wouldn't make this motion had you not lost. But
well, every action requires an equal and opposite reaction. You know,
right? Right. I mean, that don't mean that I like it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that he's going to have a reaction. I just don't know if I'm in love with the reaction. But the reaction has him in a territory, and this is part of why I picked him in the battle, even though he lost. It's like, well, this guy's actually made better rap songs the last 10 years than the other guy.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that is due to brevity of work, but the fact still remains. So what if he kind of like, he just got beat at his own game. So what if he beats the other guy at his own game, which is the rap album making process?
We're in a bizarre, we're in a bizarro world.
Right, we're in the upside down. I'm in Atlanta, so Atlanta's not real. You know, like when you come here, like that's.
But according to Little Yachty interview, he's unfazed by what went down and all the hysteria with Not Like Us. You know, but you know, I'm with Coop. You know, you can't.
Quite frankly, that's the mushrooms and probably the cocaine too.
Right. You know, I agree with Coop. He's changing how he moves. But you know, when you take an L, sometimes you got to do that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that as long as the product is good. I mean, when he took the L to Pusha, he went back in the studio and re-recorded a lot of Scorpion, which was a double album. And that, you know, the final product had a lot of disses to Kanye, a lot of disses to Pusha T on it. He reworked that whole album in response to losing the Push. So I ain't mad if he's like really, you know, buckling down with his pen and like, yo, you know, you're going to get these bars now because he took the L. That's a given. But he can save face in doing so. And for me and for the ones that respect spitters and stuff like that, we don't care if he drops no hits because he's going to have hits. He's going to do it in his sleep. But like if he comes with, you know, those joints, those like the time stamp joints, then he'll get a stamp of approval, I feel like, you know, from a lot of people that's been hating on.
Like, imagine this. It's like imagine the world that we live in where Kendrick is the one with the chart topping, like head bobbing classic of a party song that's like all over the charts, and Drake is the one that makes the really great rap album. Like, imagine if we live in that world this year.
But that speaks to that artistry because both of them can do, you know, they're both versatile enough to do those things.
They're super talented guys. I mean, really, if you really want to know how I feel at the end of the day, I feel like that, you know, J. Cole better make rap album of the year.
Man, think how dope the fourth quarter would be if they all drop and then we can line all three of their albums up and say, you know,
somebody better do something.
Somebody had to do something. I don't like. I have to agree.
You don't like anybody.
No, I do, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm fucked up right now. I jumped that thing too fast. I need to get it together. I'm gonna do better. My commitment to you all is I'm gonna do better. But the thing about it is,
I like an AA meeting. I'm a commitment to y'all that I'm gonna do better.
I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna do better. The thing about it is, I don't like it only because we'll move on from this. I don't like it because it reminds me of Ja. When Ja Rule tried to come back with Blood in My Eye, y'all remember that? He lost to 50 back against the wall, and Ja Rule came back with Blood in My Eye. I thought Blood in My Eye was a very solid record. I thought it was a very solid album, honestly. But it wasn't what
it was the title.
Yes, it was overly aggressive, and by this time we don't want to hear that aggressive nature from Ja because Ja was giving us other joints. He had AG singing in West Virginia, "What I Do Without You," you know what I mean, at the top of his voice, and we didn't really want that from Ja. We didn't want Ja to come back and talk about I'm shooting you up and clapping you up.
Hold on. Clap back is dope.
It's dope, cool, but it didn't land. That's the thing.
What's the position when the gun in your face and you got one in your waist?
He went crazy.
But the way you framing it, Sean, like Ja Rule pretty much lost his whole fan base where a lot of Drake's is still intact. That's the caveat.
Yes, it's still intact. But do we want to hear an aggressive Drake over Conductor? Or do we want Drake to get back to I need one dance? Can I give what I mean? We want that Drake.
No.
Yes, we do. You know why? Because he dropped a joint with Gordo, and that joint with like 1.8 billion streams. It went crazy, right? It went crazy because
I think forget the numbers. He need to get to spitting, bro. For real.
That's not
the truth is in the middle somewhere. It would be you want to know what he should actually do? He should actually do. I mean, Future and Metro actually beat him to this. He should release a rap album 1 week, and then he should release like the poppy singy song you like shit album next week,
like he did with Scorpion.
Except for like hold on.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Unlike Scorpion, it needs to be good.
He needs to what's that, the Nelly Sweat and Suit joint?
It needs to be good.
Yo, that was terrible. That was Sweatsuit. Yo, Sweatsuit was trash.
I'm sorry, Nelly. I ain't mean to send no stray away, man. I got, Sean was talking about me singing Murder Inc. and I started thinking about Ashanti.
Those albums were terrible. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. No, those albums were bad, but
it was bad. Yeah. But we want a balance of Drake. We don't want full throttle Drake going crazy because that's what too crazy.
I don't know, Sean. You wouldn't take an album with like 12 timestamp joints, not all literally name timestamp, but in that vein.
Like the guy that made 0 to 100, 8 a.m. in Charlotte, like that guy, that guy, if that guy lives for a whole project,
crazy.
And like if we're doing our hip hop talks ratings at the end of the year, and the Drake album is ahead of the Kendrick album, and what needs to be the Cole album,
keep doing it, man. And y'all talk about me.
No. First of all these albums better drop this year. You're not gonna do all this shit and not drop albums. That's what we're not doing. This is competitive sport still. You're not going to do all this and not give us an actual product of an album. You're not going to do that. We're not going to let you get away with it. It's not okay.
He's not. I don't think he will.
Talking about all three of them.
No. Talking about Cole as well.
All of them.
1, 2, 3.
Man, Cole riding bike scene in North Carolina somewhere, man. Every time you pop up, he's riding a bike, man. You don't see Cole. You don't see a picture of Cole in the studio. You see a picture of Cole riding a bike, cool. You gotta let it go, cool. You gotta let it go.
Cole makes album of the year. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna do a little montage about all the shit you've been saying about Cole this year.
He's riding a freaking bike, and it's electrical bike at that, so he's not even really getting a workout.
Yo, for him to make album of the year, that's a bike ride up a tall hill, bro. Like,
is it? Hold on. You don't think
he's even wearing a helmet?
You don't think he can make an album better than the album Rhapsody?
I think he could, but the talk is going to be different because he's eliminated the ability to talk heavy like he was before. You know what I mean? You can't have that same kind of talk on the tracks.
Right.
So I will say this. See, I will say this though. The best version of Cole is very much like Jay-Z. It's the conversational version of Cole that's actually at his best.
Yeah, I agree.
He is like Jay. Like that is the Jay comparison about them that I see is that when conversational Cole is the best version of Cole.
Yeah, that introspection. And we might get a track with his thought process behind the apology. He might turn it into a concept.
Right. There might be a whole record like dedicated to like that moment in that night. First of all,
cool. He's riding an electrical bike right now, cool. He's not even, his legs not even moving the pedal. He's riding an electrical bike with no helmet around town in North Carolina. Cole is not.
Yo, can we go to the next topic? Let's go to the next topic, bro. I'm done with you, man.
Let me get the super chat. Tracy G, $5 chat. Hey fellas, great job on the podcast, and y'all was hella wrong though for Rockim album. That album was fire, even with all the features. No, it wasn't, Tracy. Stop it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And here's the thing about it. People, can I say something right quick? People have been hitting us up and saying, well, this is his producer album. He's releasing the album where he rhymes like more. Like this is like kind of like his producer project where he's like,
Yeah.
you know, helping the other guys set it off and really trying to create like a cohesion. Even from that respect, the project's just not that good because I feel like he missed the mark. Like you're Rockim. Realistically, you can ask for anybody and they'll tell you yes. Now, financially, some things may not happen, but he could have made some other things happen. He could have made the KRS thing happen. He made the G Rap thing happen. The Kane thing happen. Like we still don't have a Rockim and Kane track after all these years. It's like, come on. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, no, for real. Like, think about that. We don't have a Rockim or Kane track after all these years. Like, what are we doing?
No, that's crazy. I just don't think that's the way he had been gone out of the game so long. I don't think that's the way you reintroduce yourself back into the fray, like with that many features.
Kane and Rock could have did that in 97, 98. Like, don't Kane had, they've had, so I feel like there's some opportunities missed. I told you like a Jizza Black Thought joint called Scientific Rhyming, like stuff like so I feel like he chose a lot of stuff. Like I don't love all the posthumous stuff on there. Like Prodigy versus Just Cool, which is what I was worried about. Like it's P, it's solid P. It's not prime P. It's not like less than stellar P. It's just like it's another Prodigy verse. Like I don't want to say it like that, but it kind of is. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything on the first 3 albums is better than that verse, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Well, you know, first 3 official albums, not counting Juvenile Hell. Like when most people talk about their first 3 albums, they're talking Infamous, Hell on Earth, Murder Music. You know, people. Yep. I look at Juvenile Hell like an indie album, kind of like how I look at like Juvenile Soldier Rags.
Yep, no doubt. LP, Do Your Body Right and Loves You Back. Nas, absolutely. Speaking of Nas, everybody's giving Primo a lot of flack with this new track he has out called "You Don't Stop," and it's crazy because we talk about it all the time about how the fan base no rest for me. And Nas said no rest for me. You know what's best for me, and we're starting to see a lot of that right now. A lot of pushback from what Preme is doing right now. When people are saying, "Well, if this is an indicator what Preme is cooking up for Nas, he got to do better." And I don't think the track "You Don't Stop" is not a bad. I don't think it's a bad track. I think it's actually a dope track. I think the scratching on there is dope. I think the beat is solid. Lyrics, you know, is good with the exception of Rick Ross. I think Big Sean and Lil Wayne did their part. But overall, I think it's a dope track. So, but people are killing it right now. So what do y'all think, man? How y'all feeling out there with this new? I don't want to say hate, but just new dislike for some of the things that Preme is doing, or some hesitation of what Preme is doing out there. Is this real, or is this expectations are so high right now for Preme and Nas that we're already trying to poke holes into it before it come out? If it comes out, we're poking holes in it.
Remember back in the day, we used to talk about producers and their A folder, and then they got their B folder, and then the C, you know what I mean? I could just hope.
Not C folder.
I mean, some cats might get the C folder joints, but I'm, depending on how much they pay. But I'm just holding out hope that, Nas is getting all the joints in the A folder, and then he is actively, from what I read online, working with Royce the 5'9" on Prime 3. So, for certain projects, I'm hoping that Primo is like dialed in and giving his top tier stuff for those type projects, and these one-offs, or we hear a joint on somebody's album, I'm hoping those is coming from the B folder. That's how I'm looking at it. That's me being optimistic, and that but Nas is very involved, like as far as like the samples and stuff he wants Preme to use and all that in the past. So I figure he'll be more hands-on with his album versus Preme just cooking up and then Nas saying, "Yo, I'll rap over it." So I'm not really worried as far as the product that'll be produced, but from the fanfare, I think they set their expectation and the bar so high, no matter what they do, if it's hot or not. I think it's going to be a loud minority. It might not be a majority, but a loud minority that no matter what they do will still say, "Yo, Preme, is not who he used to be on the beats," or what have you. So this is like 15 years too late or whatever, you know.
Okay. What you said, Cool?
I say that in order for this project to be what it's supposed to be to its core fan base, which even feels like when I'm saying that, I'm like, what the hell is their core fan base at this point in the game anyway?
Nas's core don't even know what they want.
They don't.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, is that, well, in my opinion, he would need this album, in order for it to be what it's supposed to be, it needs to be a moment of truth level production moment from Preme.
That's a tall task, though.
Who is he doing the record with?
True.
What does their track record look like?
True. But
anything? No,
God rest the dead with Guru, but Nas can do that on the mic side of things, but on the beat side of things,
but we're not talking about Nas right now. Right.
Yeah, that's a tall order, Coop. I don't know.
Well, listen, even the way that you interjected so quickly on the behalf of Nas's spit game at this stage in the game is exactly what I'm talking about. And what I'm worried about is that, well, this needs to be a moment of truth type of level production job. Well, let's look at the beats that didn't make moment of truth that guys like Biggie and Jay-Z got in 1997. Can I interest you in Friender 498 or 1,000,001 Questions Rhyme No More or Kick in the Door in 10 Crack Commandments? That's what he gave Big and Jay the year before Moment of Truth came out, which means them beats was made around the time them beats for Moment of Truth was getting made, most likely. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He had enough in the chamber to go hand records like that to Big and to Jay and to still make Moment of Truth. This is why I'm worried. So when I'm hearing the stuff that's coming out production-wise, it's like, I don't need it to be 95 Preme. You know what I'm saying? But I need to see the type of warm-up that lets me know that when the game starts, that these motherfuckers are going to go win the championship. And I'm not hearing that right now. Think about what I just said. The year before you got Moment of Truth, you got 1,000,001 Questions. Friender 498, he did the scratches on Rap Game, Crack Game, if I'm not mistaken. Kick in the Door, and 10 Crack Commandments. And that's just for Volume 1 in Life After Death. That's not all the shit.
What you're talking about, Coop, the one time I did feel that, like, oh, Preme, you know, if he gives Nas joints like this, and this was before the album was even announced, the Ab Soul joint. That joint on Ab Soul's album, I was like, yo, if Preme is cooking up joints like this, then, you know, we gonna eat. But that's the last time I felt like that.
10 Crack Commandments, Kick in the Door, 1,000,001 Questions, Rhyme No More, Friender 498. Like, just those 5 beats alone.
And Nas's Light got done in 98 as well.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But is that fair to Preme, though? Because we can say
I don't care if it's fair. It is what it is. It's not about if it's fair. Is it fair? The answer is no.
But cool.
But that's the bar he set for himself. That's the bar he set for himself.
Correct. Did you all make New York State of Mind? And Nas is like, in Memory Lane, and Represent
State of Mind. He did.
New York State of Mind. Y'all made those records, right?
He did.
This is the standard. Did you make Moment of Truth? Did you make Step Into the Arena? Did you make Come Clean for J. Rue? Did you make Unbelievable for Big? Did you make The Evils for Jay? That guy?
Yeah.
We're gonna hold that guy to that standard. Don't we do that with everybody else?
It won't be for lack of trying.
Don't we do that with everybody else?
Yeah.
Did he make Boom? He made Boom for Royce, right?
Yep.
That guy? Yeah. High as it gets.
It won't be for lack of trying, though. I think he'll give his effort. Now, will it fall flat or will it like hit a home run is the question. But I think Preme is taking this very seriously. He's been waiting in the wings to do this album for a very long time.
I hope so.
Bet.
He has to, because the fans are already chopping it up.
he did It's Been a Long Time in New York for Rockim in '97 too.
He has been, but cool.
Like he had heat floating around Moment of Truth where you was like, ooh.
But cool.
Like,
that's like 30 years ago. RZA did On the Bill for Cuban Linx 29 years ago, but he also did Digi Snacks. I'm just.
Here's the only thing that worries me though. This is the only thing that worries me. If Preme was to drop a joint that was just kind of like mid or whatever, and he hadn't put any produced tracks out in a while, then that would be a little bit more acceptable. But it's not like he's not getting his reps in. He has like a lot of placements here in the modern era recently, and it's been more joints that's not in the vein of how he used to produce, that's not hitting like that, than it is joints that are. So I think that's the only thing that really worries me.
So here's what I'll tell you. How about this? The job that Pete Rock just did on the Auditorium, even though we had a lot of critique for the Auditorium overall in terms of the replay value, on a production and just beat level, does any of his stuff sound as good as the stuff Pete Rock did on the Auditorium?
Some yes, some no. But the Auditorium was real safe to me as far as how good Pete Rock is.
We're not talking about safe right now. I'm talking about like how the beat sound. You feel what I'm saying? Like how the beat sound. Like I get what you're saying about it being safe. How the beat sound though?
Okay,
where the type of shit that I want to rhyme to.
If you're putting Define My Name on the Auditorium, just beat wise, where would it fall for you?
Bottom third.
Okay.
Bottom third.
This joint, You Don't Stop, where would it fall on the Auditorium?
Bottom half.
Okay.
Damn.
I haven't even thought about it. I'm just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Not top half.
Okay.
Because think about the interlude beats that you and I talked about, AG. Those beats are more exciting than like all these Primo beats. Am I wrong?
No, I agree. Now that Ab Soul joint
is that not a contemporary of his from 30 years ago?
Oh yeah, they came in the game same time. Okay. Now that Ab Soul joint that I alluded to, where would that fall in this album?
That's top half. That's top tier. That would be top 5-ish. Maybe.
Yeah, and that was just about 2 years ago when that joint dropped.
I feel
maybe
like
a year and some change.
I feel like not quite a year and some change. I don't think it's been 2 years yet.
Okay. So it's doable, but can he do it and sustain it for a whole album is the question.
Yeah, we need him to sustain it for about 10 to 12 tracks at least.
Do you think the shorter the album, the better? Because it's more room for error?
I would really prefer if this album was only 10, 11, 12 songs long.
Yeah. But in that case, it can't be Moment of Truth because he did that joint over 20 tracks. Moment of Truth.
No, but what I'm saying is that production-wise, like, My Steez,
right.
Robin Hood Theory, Work, Royalty, Above the Clouds, JFK to LAX, The Actual Moment of Truth, Betrayal, Make 'Em Pay, The Militia. Like, no, these beats
Above the Clouds is my favorite Primo beat ever.
These beats are high-end luxury art.
Mm-hmm. Y'all want Primo to just everything should be at the park with this album. Everything.
Is he a top 5? Is he a top 5 producer all time? Like, where you got Primo all time?
I got him 2.
You got number 2. Number 2 what?
Producer all time.
Ain't no way.
Yes, there is. Hold on. Don't start that shit.
Is that you saying that's too high? Or
yes.
Is he in your top 5? Hold on, AG. Is he in your top 5?
In my top 5?
Yes.
Well, definitely. Yeah, he my top 5, but not number 2.
I mean, it's not that crazy. If he's in the top 5, that's like having Kareem at number. It's like having Kareem at number 4, like all time. Yeah. It's like people think Kareem's the GOAT. It's like I don't argue with them. I'm having like 4th, 5th, or 6th. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, you're splitting hairs at the top, like pause. But I got RZA 1, Preme 2. Like I don't, and Dre would be 3.
I got the same 3. I just got it in a different order. I got Dre at 1. I got RZA at 2. I got Preme at 3.
Who you got at 4 and 5? I got Kanye, and then I don't lost my train of thought. For my number 5, you got Kanye at 4.
I do.
Who did I have 5? Trying to
It
think.
hurts to say that. It hurt inside. Like when I said it, I was like, oh, I didn't want to say that.
Own it. Who you have at 5, cool?
The truth. I'm too old to deny the truth.
I was sitting here debating with myself if I got Havoc at 5 or not.
I
Havoc
can't have Havoc at 5. I
Havoc
love Havoc.
I got Havoc over Dilla.
I got
do
Havoc
too.
over Dilla too, but that's just because the same way we rate the album side of things for the MC, we have to rate it for the producer. And
What
so
about
Dilla,
over Tip? You can't put Havoc over Tip. Like you can't, because Tip like was so influential.
No, I don't. That's why I brought up Q-Tip at number 5, maybe.
That's more legit. I might have Tip at 5 as well. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Pete Rock, DJ Paul are in that conversation. I do think Kid is in that conversation. If you told me Metro and Alk are in that conversation, I would say that's legitimate. Marley Marl. Oh, Marley Marl is who we left out. Marley need to be high up on the list.
I wouldn't have him top 5, but I would have him around about in 10.
Architect wise, yeah.
A lot of bangers.
Longevity wise, no.
A lot of bangers. Yeah, so Marley would be up there. Large Professor would be up there.
Large Pro.
Yeah. Large Pro would be up there.
Well, you the one that reacted, Sean. Who do you have above Preme?
DJ Quick.
Yeah, Sean said Quick. Yeah.
Quick.
E
double. Quick. He's somewhere in there.
Who do you have above Preme, Sean?
I got RZA above Preme first and foremost.
Okay. That's my number 1.
I would honestly, unpopular, man, but I can't say that. That's blasphemy. Body of work. I'll put RZA over him. I'll also put Dre over him, just because of the doggy style of the Chronic. I think doggy style and Chronic trumps everything that Preme probably put together as a collection.
Yes.
I think he slapped boxing with Ye. I think some of the things that Ye have done, honestly, like if you take Ye's highest and put him up against Preme's highest, who wins? You take Ye's top 5 beats against Preme's top 5 beats. It's not.
No. I'm going to tell you why Ye loses is because, like, how about this? If we were, it depends on where we are. Like, if we're in Madison Square Garden, like Preme is gonna win and win pretty handily. But like if we're in fucking Brussels or Geneva, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna win because like how about this? Like culturally, in terms of its importance, where would you put something like You Can't Tell Me Nothing versus Mass Appeal?
Yeah.
Because that's the conversation that you're having when you're having the Preme.
Mass Appeal might be his biggest. Mass might be the biggest one he has, right? Just because the beat
that's universal. Yeah,
that's universal law about beat making. I feel like that is the beat. Like, how about this? I feel like that's Preme actually doing his Q-Tip Tribe Called Quest impersonation, just like with more like Edge.
Yeah.
It feels very like Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders like to me, actually, in terms of stylistically. It's just a little bit more aggressive, more edgy. You know what I mean? A little bit more dense, a little darker, a little denser.
Indeed. That's his magnum opus. Mass Appeal is magnum opus. What would be Dre's magnum opus? We can move on.
Nothing But a G Thing.
So would you put Nothing But a G Thing over Mass Appeal?
What, production-wise, song-wise, what?
Just production, pure production.
Yes.
I think we get caught up in like who is on the track, what the track with the vocals sound like. If you just play, New York State of Mind versus beat versus whatever, like Can't Tell Me Nothing or something like that, then I think that now hold up, Ye didn't even do Can't Tell Me Nothing. Didn't DJ Toomp do that joint?
I think he had like collaborators on that one. It was like Toomp and somebody else.
Well,
okay,
help them too on that one.
Well, how about this? Let's do something like Power.
Okay, so yeah, if you, I'm when I think of like who's the better producer, because a lot of times we get wrapped up in the song itself, like because the vocals and everything adds to it, right? And how big the joint was. But if we strip that down, if we just play the instrumental, which beat for beat is the best? That's how I try to look at it.
Right, Nothing But a G Thing to me would beat Mass Appeal any day of the week. Just pure beat, but No,
This
no
is what I'm
vocals,
saying.
pure beat.
So think about this. I'm just gonna run through some of it. New York State of Mind, Memory Lane, Represent, Mass Appeal, Unbelievable. That's all 94.
Unbelievable is crazy.
That's 94. That's 94. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just going through some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And he
Rappers.
was so instrumental in Big J's and Nas's like career
Yeah.
coming up.
Oh,
Gave him some of their biggest records.
He's the link in the chain between the three of them, actually.
Yeah.
Rappers are in danger. MCs act like they don't know. The Group Home album, Living Proof, like the whole album, production wise. This is 95. You know, 96. The Evils, Friend or Foe, Bring It On. I Gave You Power. This is the guy that did Come Clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kicking the Door, 10
Kicking the Door. Yeah.
Yeah. Intro, A Million and One Questions, Rhyme No More. It's been a long time. Like that's just the 94 to 97 resume.
This is why I give them the nod over Kanye, and it's barely, but RZA has the best run we've ever seen. That's why I got him number one. Dre, I got it number 3 because, you know, he is the sound of a whole coast. But the reason why I give Preme the edge, bro is not even from New York and helped mold the sound of the whole East Coast. He's not even from here. You know, I mean, from New York. He's from Texas.
Yeah, he's from H-Town.
And so if you can capture the essence of a whole, you know, demographic, and you're not even from there, and you help shape that, what that should sound like. Boom bap is primo, right? So I would give him the edge, you know, I would give him the edge just for like having that feather in his cap.
Well, you know, here's what I'll say is like the more that I become acquainted with hip hop and classic hip hop records, the more I can hear how much particularly these guys inspired each other. And that's Large Professor, Q-Tip, Preme, and Pete Rock, because I can hear that they were listening to each other in the style of beats that they have made. And so I can like hear it. You know what I'm saying? Stylistically speaking. And, you know, you have offshoots of it, like, you know, like with the Havoc thing and Q-Tip teaching Havoc how to program drums and stuff. They're all offshoots of Marley in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Dilla's an offshoot. Dilla and Kanye are offshoots of Q-Tip to me. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye probably be somewhere between Q-Tip and Pete Rock. But they sparked the whole lineage of like MCs. Conductor's off the Primo tree. Like he's the modern day Primo in a lot of ways. Not the Primo's level. You know what I'm saying? But that's because, well, quite frankly, part of why Primo exists on the level that he exists on is the same reason RZA and Dre and Kanye. Listen to the guys that we're saying. Now I want you to think about who's rapped over their records. Who raps over your record matters in your all-time producer placement. Because part of why we feel the way we feel about Preme is that some of his best stuff is with a lot of people's New York's Holy Trinity, which is Big J and Nas. He gave the 3 best some of their best stuff, if not their best stuff. Like,
and they all sought him out.
Because you can make a legitimate argument, especially in Nas's and Jay case, that he gave them their best song. Like The Evils might be Jay's best song. New York State of Mind might be Nas's best song. When you make those are the guys that are in our GOAT conversation. That's our 1 and 2, no matter how you place it, right? So think about what it says about that guy, that their best song might be with him behind the beat for both of them. That's the expectations that I'm talking about. So like, no, like I'm not taking anything off. I'm not curbing the grade. It's like, no, he don't get a hall pass because it's been 30 years in. You're DJ Premier. We're gonna hold you to the same standard. Like you were fighting the younger version of yourself. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Would not want to be you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on from this topic, fellas.
Like, hey, AG, real quick. Riz is your number 1 because no other producer ever had that many dope MCs within his own camp. He never had to leave home to go find a dope MC to rap over his beats. Ray's right here. Ghost is right here. Meth is right here. Jizz is right here. Dirty's right here. In Dirty and Jizz's case, there is cousins, for God's sake.
Yeah. But to that credit, I mean, he had all that to his disposal, but he was able to change his sound and give each one.
Let's not go there yet. We still got Cuban Linx. Let's not go there yet.
Oh yeah, okay. I got you.
Yeah, hold on to that.
Oh,
so we mentioned Dre.
You want to run the show?
Yeah, because y'all niggas be want to
Now you want to run the show.
Yo, speaking of people being tight, on 50 pause, 50 still tight about Rock Nation.
People being
I
tight.
want him to perform Super Bowl.
You made it the first hour. I want to give you credit. No. Everybody stand up, clap for Sean's ass.
Yo,
You made it through a whole hour of the show without doing some
I did. Because I didn't get a line. I didn't get a line with it.
We didn't get out of line.
Yo, so 50 is still a little bit tight about the whole situation with the Rock Nation thing. He's still talking about it. I think 50 still got an issue with Jay.
Of course. 50's petty, man. He don't let stuff go.
He's not letting it go. But he did mention how M came through for him. And 50 has this thing for M where it's like he will always represent M. No matter, I don't think M can do any wrong to 50, because anytime you turn around, you hear a different story. It's always something that 50 did something for. M did something for 50, and he said how M was like, "I'm not
his life. M changed his life forever."
He says his grandmother and Eminem, like that's the pinnacle for him.
The generational wealth that he has built for his family, for his legacy, for his tradition. It's because Eminem believed in him and said, that guy, like above all the guys that I hear, that guy, like, no, give me that guy, whatever we got to do to get that guy.
Yeah.
Like, and he, think about this.
He always took care of him.
This is the thing about our hip hop spaces. It's like, why is a white guy from Detroit who signed to a label whose base and head and where he records is based in LA, how does this guy get a guy from Southside Jamaica, Queens?
Mm-hmm.
It had no business happening to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The part that a lot of people get lost on.
50 knows that. 50 looks at it just like that had no business happening. Like, all these dudes should have been scooting me up and took me where I was supposed to go way before he even came along. Like, even before the deal. Like those guys should have been happening. And so, 50's loyalty is like that, and it should be.
Right. Mm-hmm. And to your point, Coop, I think a lot of people get lost on the fact that it's when Eminem did that, because this was at Eminem's zenith, right? Mm-hmm. This is something he didn't have to do.
No. He doesn't have to do it now, numbers wise. He just did numbers again.
Yes.
Yeah, he just did numbers again. He don't have to do it now. He damn sure didn't have to do it 20 years ago.
Right. He does it all. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, that whole movement, he made sure 50 was at the forefront. And M wasn't afraid, as big as M was at that time. He was okay with taking the back seat and let 50 move forward. He didn't get in front of it. He didn't shit on it. He didn't step on it. He allowed 50 to do his thing. And that's tough. That's tough.
You want to know what I just realized, Sean? What if M sacrificed like the end of his prime to let 50 shine?
That's what I'm getting. Exactly.
Like, because M is still M when 50's coming along.
Yes.
We look at the quote unquote dissipation of his album making projects. Did it ever occur to you that maybe he was behind the scenes? Like, because when you said that, I just thought to myself, it's like, damn, hold on. Like, M is think about this. M is snapping on Get Rich or Die Trying. Patiently Waiting and Don't Push Me. Those are high level M verses. That's not like, that's top 10, 15, 20 MC all time talk on those records. And so it's not like his skill level had dissipated to a point, definitely not his star power. So what if he took a step back to let 50 win? That's
what I'm saying. He was at the zenith at that time, and he stepped back and let 50 in the unit move forward, because even Dre even pretty much just like, let's put everything behind this guy and thrust him forward, pause. And I think 50 knows that and sees that from a different viewpoint, because now you look at like this, because 50 even had the interview when he was talking about the beefs that he had during that time as well. And if you notice, M never got involved in those beefs, right? He kind of kept it neutral at that time, because 50 was saying he wasted too much time beefing with Joe, Kiss, and Cam. And M never got involved in that. He let 50 be his own man and have his own movement until John says the crazy about M daughter that M jumped in, but nothing but M stepping back and letting it feel through his thing. That's
I
very
think the other guys he respected too much, you know.
absolutely.
I just want to say, using the word thruster in a hip hop
I
podcast
thought
is
we,
wild.
I thought
No,
we
I'm
were
not letting this slide.
going to
I'm not
overlook.
letting this slide. I was like, how did this nigga think of the word thrust? Like, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, we gotta stay
Really,
focused.
really wrong with you.
That's what they want us to do, man. They don't want us to be focused, man. You know what I mean?
Who's they?
Who's they?
People that wear goatees and stuff, man, and rap like Montel Jordan, be like, they want us to stay focused.
Shonda had too much to drink. Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm good. Not drinking.
You can't moderate the show like this. You can't moderate the show like him. Can we slide him out the screen like Jack Nicholson did, like the politician during Batman? You remember when Jack Nicholson's character played the Joker, just slide the guy out the screen, pushed him over? Can we just push? Can you push Sean out the frame for me, AG, please? Just slide. Just slide.
What did he say? He's been using brand X.
No. That shit. Yeah, that's crazy. This is how we do it.
Are you done?
There's something wrong with that guy, man. I swear.
It's AG, man. That dude is bad influence. But man, look. But Phil did mention that he he regretted, and he also felt he wasted time on those guys. But I share that because, again, don't want to go down this rabbit hole too far. But if you guys think about it like this, can't say rabbit hole either. Rabbit hole does sound crazy. I said like 3 times.
It's you. So we've been traumatized. It's like being abused.
It does sound crazy.
So because we dealt with the abuse for so long, everything you say is kind of like cringy for me and AG.
I know it, and I got to do better. I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I went to a podcast seminar. I did a podcast seminar online. It actually was like 2 hours, man. Learning how to pod. Because I'm not a podcaster. I'm trying to be better for you guys. But but Phil did make a point. He did make a point by saying that a lot of the things that he had with M allowed him to do his own thing. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Rosenberg, and I think Ebro even mentioned before, how he felt like 50 was the reason why New York was divided. Coop, this was during the time when when you guys had it on lock in the South. Atlanta had it on lock in 05, 06, 07, when New York was at war, and 50 was in the middle of all of that. You know what I mean? And just for him to be able to even reflect on that, he's reflecting on the Super Bowl thing with Rock Nation. He's reflecting on how M took care of him. He's reflecting on having beefs with these guys where he wasted time. Do you guys think 50 is getting to that space now that he's just, starting to like have more of a, hindsight 2020 on his career and where he stands with his career? Or you guys think he's just making a run? What do you guys think about that? Because he has a lot to say right now, a lot of reflection on what has gone on in his career.
Well, he's cool with all those guys now, Cam, Jada and Styles and Fat Joe and all them. So, you get the benefit of, the retrospect since, when you look back and you say, me and these guys could have been getting money together. You know what I mean? And uniting the, the East Coast at a time when, frankly, down South was taking over, with the, as far as the music and the movement. And let's be real, it didn't help that aesthetically 50 Cent was rapping like a Southerner, on a lot of tracks. Like he was rapping with a drawl and all that, which appeased to the Southern ear. So, you look back in hindsight, if the East Coast would have been more united, then maybe New York, would be in a different place at that time. You know what I mean? But Jay-Z and Nas coming off the battle, 50 and Ja going at it, and then 50 going at it with Fat Joe, Kiss, and all them and Cam, like it was just a whole lot of like chaos at that time for the East Coast.
What do you think, Coop?
I think that the thing about when you're king, you know what I'm saying? Everybody runs their kingdom differently. And this is what I mean. A lot of the beef for 50 was because of what I just spoke to in the previous segment. It's like, well, it took the guy from Detroit signed to the California West Coast based label to pull this super talented guy out of Southside Jamaica, Queens. Now, I mean, for me, I think the three biggest moments that I've seen in rap where the streets and the commercial backing find that happy medium. It's Snoop with Doggy Style, DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and third for me in order would be 50's Get Rich or Die Trying. So it's a super important moment, but this is one of those guys that felt mistreated by his hometown. You know what I'm saying? I remember an article that he did where I think it was the J-Lo record, and Nas replaced him on the remix, and he was like, I thought that was my only friend in the industry. Like, it wasn't the fact that he said that Nas wasn't his friend anymore. It was the fact that it was letting you know, he's like, no, none of these guys are my friends. Like, all these dudes got a problem with me.
He was a liability to the record labels that wanted to make money, you know?
Correct. All of those things. So imagine how he's going to behave when that guy becomes king. You know what I'm saying? Imagine how that guy's going to behave when he becomes king. But then, you know, you venture off into other things and you've traveled the world. You see how people live. You see how other great businessmen think. You see how other kingdoms are built. And you start having a different kingly perspective about it, saying it's like, man, like, you want to know what? I was the biggest thing in the world, and I could have got a lot more money with these dudes, you know, building businesses and enterprising and doing records with them than I could have actually off the beef. But
he burned a lot of bridges.
But when you're the type of king that he was at his peak and feeling the way that he was feeling, and the feelings aren't wrong. Like the way that he behaved, it's like, no, when you really look at the position and the posture of where he was in, like, you know what I'm saying? From cats in his neighborhood trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying?
That'll do that to you.
Multiple times. They got him one time. Don't think that's the only time that they tried.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with somebody from that type of mentality, from that type of neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? The how to rob thing, he didn't do himself any favors in terms of ingratiating himself with his rap brethren and community. You know?
Shit, Ghetto Quran.
Ghetto Quran. Ghetto Quran is worse than How to Rob to me.
I don't even want to talk about that one. Straight up.
Just so we're being clear, I think it's worse than How to Rob. It's like that caused more problems than How to Rob.
Caused way more problems.
Right.
Still,
like out here. Yeah. So when you look at all those things, it's like, no, I mean, like he did what was expected of him at the time. But now he's older, he's smarter. He's built this empire in the entertainment industry on the film and TV side. And so he just looks at his boss shit differently. This is just a boss looking at his boss shit differently. Doesn't take away the type of boss that he was before. It's just like, you know, king grows, gets older, thinks different about how his reign ran. And it's like, he's probably looking at it. It's like, oh man, when I had my run, maybe if I would have did it like this, we would have made an extra $200 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I would have built out this rap community a little bit more. Maybe like Jada, Joe, and Cam would all be a little richer. Not saying that they're not rich, but you know what I'm saying? Like 50 shit different. You know what I'm saying?
It's a level of maturity, you know?
It is. Yeah. It is.
But let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that 50 and Jay's relationship is kind of weird? It's been some weird stuff over the years, man.
It's always been. They use each other when they had to use each other. That Reebok commercial thing was it was just
it's the most awkward rap commercial ever, first of all.
Absolutely. Because they were using each other to get at one entity, and that was Ja Rule Murder Inc. It was Irv, because Irv signed, Irv was rocking with Nas at the time, and Jay was like, let me show you this. Let me go get your enemy at this time.
Right.
So it was always an awkward thing between those two. I think
remember when 50 ran on stage with Jay and was performing, and Jay was hot.
He was hot. I think it started out, honestly, with respect, but I think Jay started doing certain things behind the scenes, and I think 50 started losing respect. I think it was more respect of, okay, you hustling, you getting money, it is what it is. But I think now 50 sees it a different way. He sees it as like, yo, this guy has been doing some sneak thieving things for a long time.
Well, hold on.
I think force him out on it.
You know what I think it is for 52? It's just like, oh no, it used to be a big deal if you were to talk or diss me on a record, and now I'm the big deal.
Right.
And you don't want to make records. You feel me?
Right.
Like when Jay was the thing and 50 was coming up, it's like I'm about $1. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. It's like, oh no. First, so for somebody like that, when you help a dude kind of get his name, and then that dude that you help get a name through that type of manner, it's like one day Reebok is coming to you. It's like, yeah, we need you guys to do a commercial together. It's like that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. That was probably the Reebok commercial was probably the cue to him. The shit done changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh no, like me talking about this guy doesn't do anything for this guy. This guy is where I am, like sitting next to me, standing next to me. Like, oh shit, it's happened. The same way I done came in and hustled the game. Somebody that came in and hustled the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me get the super chats real quick. I see you, CJ the Kid. Appreciate you, bruh. CJ the Kid, $5 chat. Also, as per usual, hope all of you guys are doing good health-wise. Just overcame COVID after 3 days, and it was mostly due to working out and running. Yo, speedy recovery, bro. Definitely
Get well, bro.
Get well, absolutely. And you said like you working out and running. You know, I work out and run all the time too, man. Try to keep the lungs opened up and keep the blood flowing. And that you start to heal from that as well.
Water.
CJ also
water.
Go ahead.
Be like water. Water, more water.
Yeah. Keep moving, keeping the joints going. CJ the Kid at the $5 chat. Has Kim affected the whole world with pause and got people watching what they say? I was having an intellectual convo. A dude over 50 said pause. Yeah. After when I turned 45, I'm not saying pause anymore.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm not saying no more. CJ the Kid at $5 super chat.
Nobody believes you.
This
you need more people.
Chill out, man. Come on, man. It's me, man. I'm your friend, remember?
Just read the super chats, please. Just read the super chats.
The question was posed in one of your opinions. Who got jumped by the music industry words, Drake or Ja Rule? Both equally.
Definitely Ja Rule. Definitely Ja Rule.
Ja Rule. Ja Rule.
Ja Rule was getting smacked up.
Not even conversational.
He was getting killed. Yeah, Ja Rule was getting killed. But I do want to go back to AG. I know we got to move on to the next subject, but the thing about it is I slightly disagree with you about the whole 50 thing in New York, because you got to keep in mind, you know, when 50 came out, it was what, 2004, right? And Get Rich came out. Oh, 3.
The mixtape run was in 2002. Get Rich dropped in 2003.
So remember, we was coming off the heels of Nas and Jay. So everyone was already fractured by that time in 01. Because Nas had his side, he had Jada, he had, you know, Styles. All those guys were going at, you know, Rockefeller at the time. And it was already like segregated at that time. It was already fragmented as the city. The city was already fragmented. It was already very vulnerable, if you will. When 50
consolidated power. He consolidated power.
Right. Because when he came, it wasn't about going at them. His target was Ja Rule and Ja Rule only.
See, I don't believe that. So it's like, you know, when Nas and Jay-Z were battling, it's like, you know, Judah versus Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no, this war is literally dividing.
Yeah. People. You had to pick a side.
Dividing the people.
You got to pick a side.
What happens is when the core divides, people from the outside start coming in and taking.
Yeah. We divide. We divide the group.
50 just seen the opening. He's like, while these niggas beefing, I'm gonna take over.
Yes and no, because
no. That's where the mixtape series like timing is everything. It's not just that the records were dope; it's the time in which he did it.
Yeah,
it is. I don't disagree, but his main target
like why you niggas. But think about it. While you niggas is arguing about Nas and Jay on this corner, it's like, have you heard that new 50? Both sides is like, man, that new 50 fire. Got him.
Both sides, yeah.
Got him. He got both sides.
Right. But Coop, think about it. Because
very smart.
What did we get in 04 and 05? We got Kanye. We had the Kanye movement in 04 and 05, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, when was the first time we heard Nas on a Kanye record?
Turn it out.
Registration.
No, turn it out.
No, I'm talking about like when it mattered. like when it really mattered.
We major.
Yeah.
We major.
Yeah.
That was the opening door of saying that the olive branch was not too far behind that. Because Jay was saying during that time that was his favorite record.
Like 50 was already king. 50 was already king.
Yo, remember when that dropped? Like it was that extra beat playing out at the end or whatever. I thought for sure Jay was going, start spitting on that joint when Late Registration came out, because there was all that extra beat on the end.
It was too early. It was a warm up. It was like, yo, we're gonna see.
Because it was in the press that was his favorite song on the album. It was in the press then. Yeah.
So shout out to 50. Shout out to 50, man. 50 doing some great things. Queens get the money. Shout out to 50. Southside.
Oh, real quick. I don't know if we had it on the docket. Did you hear that leaked record from Graduation?
I think I shared it when you were Coop in the chat earlier the week.
That building joint.
It should have made the record. It should have made the album. I understand why it didn't, but it probably should have been a bonus track.
Yo, the first few bars is from the Grammy family freestyle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. Jay was going off.
Yeah. It should have been a bonus track.
I mean, good music. Kanye, like the guy that made The College Dropout, I'll say all the way up to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. When we're talking about the genius that he is, that's the genius that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Vultures 2 is not dropping tonight, guys. I just thought y'all should know that if anybody stays up for it.
What?
We're looking for it.
What?
Vultures 2. He'll put on the website that Vultures 2 was supposed to drop tonight, but it ain't happening.
Did somebody believe that?
Not I.
Somebody believe that.
Not at all. Okay. I put it on our docket for like 2 minutes and took it off. I'm like, yeah.
The last time he dropped an album on time, my daughter wasn't even alive, and she just started her senior year of high school today. Last time he dropped an album on time, my daughter wasn't alive.
Yeah. That's yay for you.
I'm not joking either. I'm not exaggerating.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
Right. It sounds about right.
I'm dropping Vultures 2 tonight. It's like, I'll see that shit in 6 months. Whatever, nigga. Next. If we see it, you're detoxing ass. He be detoxing a lot of projects too.
Yeah, we ain't getting that album.
We don't need to. The first one wasn't that good.
It wasn't.
I rocked with the first one. The rapping wasn't good, but the beats was dope.
Is it a rap album?
I mean, yeah.
We need the rapping to be good.
I mean, what do you think about the rapping on the Group Home project?
I don't play the Group Home project like that because of that. Even though the beats are stellar.
I rock it because of the beats. You know what I mean?
I've never had the propensity to really do that.
Yeah.
Not how I'm built.
Some people like it though, I guess. West Virginia. Speaking of West Virginia, so Em is doing this Slim Shady versus Marshall Mathers thing. We don't have to go crazy on this, a deep dive onto it, but he's still continuing his run of his new album. Did you guys get a chance to watch that? I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very enlightening too, because he's really challenging himself, his own self, his own persona, and pretty much saying why he did it. And that's a lot. That takes a lot.
Can I tell you what I liked about it? When I seen it, I thought to myself, he's talking from the perspective of somebody that's like been in an abusive relationship for 25 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like he's like, the perspective of it is actually almost like, like Marshall has been battered and abused like on every level by Slim Shady, like emotionally, physically, psychologically. It's like Slim Shady is like in his head at this stage in his life more than he wants him to be in his life, actually. And I find it to be a fascinating space because nobody's ever really explored these things on the subconscious level. Has a, to quote Kanye, this is one of my favorite Kanye lines too, reality is catching up with me, taking my inner child. I'm fighting for custody, And so this is very apropos because he's fighting for custody within his own self, even as a grown man. And so he's also letting you know this is a lifelong struggle that I'm dealing with. This wasn't like a short range thing. Like this is something that's still affecting me to this day. Now it might just be all for entertainment, but it's coming off that way, and I do like that part about it.
Yeah. How about you, AG? What do you think?
Man, I thought it was brilliant, man. It like explained the whole dichotomy of, the personalities in his career in 10 or 11 minutes. The framework of it. I just think it was brilliant to do that. I'm actually kind of disappointed that this didn't precede the album. It would have actually made for a better listen on if this would have went out in the promo for the album and then the album dropped in it. You know what I mean? I think that would have been dope, especially for like new listeners and stuff like that. But yeah, and what I took from it the most is people think M is like this hermit. He's not, privy to what's going on in the space or whatever. Like, he's very self-aware. Like, if you listen to some of the points that he makes, it's all said in jest, but he's real self-aware of how a lot of the rap fans view him at this point in his career. And, he makes light of that, but he's very in tune with what his legacy, where it stands and how he's being talked about. So I think that the little therapy session with Slim and Marshall was brilliant, man. Only thing I would change is I would have put this out prior to the album. It would have made for a better listening experience for a lot of people.
No doubt.
I love that, AG. I think that's actually like a great idea. That's really insightful.
No doubt. Shout out to M, man. Great run. He's continuing to get his point across with this concept album. I love it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So, fellas, we got to keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about Uncle L. He just did actually a really good interview with Shannon Sharp. I think I counted like 77 or 78 pause moments in this joint, but that's there. But Shannon be going crazy with it though. But it was a very, very good. He be going crazy. It was a very good interview. L is a very good interview. What's that?
You've got a lot of nerve.
I know, that's crazy. But I'm just saying, Shannon be embracing it though. He be doing it, looking in the camera while he's doing it.
What do you think you're doing?
He probably saying something pause right now in this picture, the way he's sitting up. But like, yo, it was
what's wrong with him, man?
I'm out.
Too much caffeine or something.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a great interview. LL is probably one of the most entertaining interviewees that you will probably find out there. Like, he gives it up, man. He tells you stories. He's on point. He's paying attention.
He comes. You want to know what? You know what it is, Sean? I don't mean to cut you off. I realized it when I watched this interview. He still to this day, and this is truly remarkable. 40 years into the game, he still looks at every interview as an opportunity to gain a new fan.
Absolutely.
He still interviews that way.
Yeah.
Who still interviews that way? Where think about this. Like, you want to know what I realized? Like, when I watched this, I don't care what you say. He's rap's best interview. Because you want to know what he does? He's rap's best interview, and we don't say it enough because you want to know what it is? He's the first one to articulate himself like this, but he has maintained a level of consistency, and he gives it up when he talks. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mobb Deep song, he give up the goods when he talks. Like, he don't talk to you. He really like lets you know like how he's feeling. He doesn't hesitate. He's like when he says this stuff, it's like, no, that's like telling Wimby, like, you got lifts in your shoes. He's like, dude, like, I'm 7'4".
I love that part.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, that's Uncle L. That's my Uncle L. Like, I don't know who your uncle. That's my guy. The guy is like, you're asking me if I wear lifts. He's like, he's like telling you, he's like, I'm LL Cool J. He's like, I'm 7 feet tall. Like, why would you ask me if I could jump? I don't need to jump to do this. I'm LL Cool J.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's literally like when Rick James walks into Eddie Murphy's house and starts stomping on it, like, fuck your couch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has that kind of bravado to him, and it's sincere, and he gives it up to you. Like, he doesn't hide it. Like, a lot of these guys, they hide this part of them for the interview. And he's like, no, like, this is what it means to be an MC. This is how we behave. This is how we act. This is how we talk. This is how we deliver. This is what our perspective is.
Right.
Like, he's the embodiment of that in an interview. Like, I walked away thinking today, it's like, who the hell in rap can you actually ask a question to, like a legend that you can ask a question to, and they are going to give you a direct, truthful answer, and the direct and truthful answer is actually going to be entertaining too. Imagine that. Like, it's not just going to be direct and truthful, but he's going to keep you entertained while he's doing it. That is what rap's best interview looks like. He looks like best rap interview is because he's the one that taught all these niggas how to interview.
Absolutely. And he's from Queens.
Nobody asked you that.
I just thought
Nobody asked you that at all. That was not even part of the dialogue.
I don't know if you knew
not
that
even part of the conversation of what I said. I'm done talking. AG, get your friend again.
Nah, but for real, man, L is like probably one of the most charismatic interviews out there. Real energetic, and what I love about it, this album has to be dope. You don't put that much energy into an interview if you putting out a whack album. Like, and truthfully, nobody believes that their album is whack. Let's be real. But if you're that exuberant about an album, you know it's going to be fire. You know what I'm saying? And to your point, Coop, about how he's saying like, yo, this is how we really feel as MCs. This is how we really talk and behave. When he was talking about the cannabis thing, he was like, Shannon, I was an egomaniac. I didn't want him complimenting my tattoo and like saying I'm gonna get me one too. Like that offended me. That's like Michael Jordan on The Last Dance, bro.
But
I took it personally.
about him. What other guy that's a legend, the way that he's a legend, is gonna talk like that to you in an interview?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's like Michael Jordan on The Last Dance. You know what I'm saying? I took it personally. But it was a jewel hidden in the early part of the interview, man. And it was a bar, man. And it's one of the dopest things I've ever heard, but it was real simple. I don't know if y'all caught it. Shannon was asking him, you know, and this is the second or third interview where LL has said, like, yo, I had to teach myself how to rhyme again, blah, blah, blah. And it was talking about that. And then, you know, Shannon asked him a question, and I'm paraphrasing, and L, you know, he insinuating that he might have lost a step and he had to like gain it back. And it was like, yo, you don't have to lose something to try to get better. You know what I mean? He was basically talking about like, I don't feel like I lost anything. I just had the wherewithal that I want to better myself, but you don't have to lose anything to want to do that. So I taught myself how to rhyme again because I wanted to get better, but I still think I'm nice. I'm nice as hell. I don't have to lose nothing to want to do that. And he said that. I was like, whoa, let me pause that and rewind that back. Like that was a whole bar when he said that, for real.
Absolutely.
No, it was a great interview. But then, and this is what I mean about him being rap's best interview. I'm trying to think about the time where LL Cool J sat down and did an interview and the interview wasn't good. I'll wait.
Nah, never that.
You got a bad LL Cool J interview where you remember when it's like, oh, I don't believe he said that. I don't believe he did that. All of our other legends have had moments like this. Except for him. Want to know why? Because he's the most classically trained one. Because he's the one that classically trained all of us.
But all those interviews are just like he kicking it with you, though. You know, that's the difference.
Part of what makes him a great interview. That's what I mean. Who else is going to be honest with you, give up the goods, and it be entertaining? Like all three of those things. Think about what I'm saying. Like that's hard to do in an interview. Is to like, how about this? Like, not to be funny, it's like we got local cats that's never gonna be LL Cool J, and it's like pulling teeth sometimes to get information out of them when they get interviewed behind the scenes or live on Hip Hop Talks or wherever I've been. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, no, L has literally has the mentality. It's like, I might get 5,000 new fans today. Let's fucking go.
Yep.
Like when he doesn't have to do that. And you want to know what I actually thought about for the first time today? These interviews that he's been doing and like this press run has been so great hearing him talk and listening to him talk. I'm not trying to be petty when I say this at all, I promise. But I do not want this project to do some Common Pete Rock numbers. And I'm serious because L deserves better than that because he is still 4 years into the game, putting his heart and soul into the game. And I respect it and I appreciate it. And when you think about all the cultural impact things he's done, think about it. He is the person that phrased the GOAT coin. It's like, why didn't that go in as a notch in his belt in terms of his cultural influence? Like, why don't we talk about that more in terms of L's cultural influence on this culture? That's like
it's disrespectful. Shannon brought that up. He coined the phrase and don't get talked about in the category enough.
Let's say that you don't even get talked about in the category. Part of getting considered in the category is cultural relevance and significance. Am I wrong?
Nah,
Isn't
you're
isn't those the things that push guys like a Jay-Z and a Wayne and a Kendrick and an Eminem for their generation and for their following? Well, how about this guy that existed before all of you, that has more hit records than all of you, or you know what I mean, as a solo artist, more hit records than all of you as a solo artist. You know what I'm saying? Like has all the accolades, like actually taught you how to do it. Is actually a better interview than you. You get what I'm saying? Actually coined the phrase, like when Wayne is making the song Best Rapper Alive, and when Jay is saying Best Rapper Alive at the end of Dirt Off Your Shoulders, it's like, well, that's really just a flip on the GOAT thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like y'all may not want to say it like that because your ego may not let you say it, but it's like really L is the one that got all that talk started.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you want to know what spawned that? His beef with Cannabis, when Cannabis said because the best rapper of all time died on March 9th. You get what I'm saying?
Well, when LL coined that phrase, he was one of the handful of people that could, you know, stake his claim, throw his name in that hat. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he can legitimately say it when he said it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't blasphemous at all when he said it. And so it's like, where's his cultural significance versus a Lil Wayne, a Eminem, a Kanye, a Drake, like all these guys? Like you get a Kendrick, you know, like what is his cultural relevance? Has he not culturally come up with things? Because it's like if we're talking about cultural relevance in the hip hop circle, it's like, well, he is the first solo artist on Def Jam, by the way. You know? He's the first artist like this, like Shannon said, to go platinum 10 times on his first 10. You get what I'm saying? It's like, no, he got everything that these guys got, and he actually did it first. Why is he not considered? Because I asked myself, like, why I don't have him higher after like watching this interview run. I'm like, damn, I was like, am I fucking up? Like as a hip hop head, do I not know my shit? Like he's good enough that he has me questioning myself, and he's probably the only person. Him and Snoop are the only people that I consistently question where I have them ranked when I hear them talk and realize what they've really done. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like when I think about it, it's like, how can I have this nigga at 18? Like, what type of shit does that sound like? These niggas can't make Doggy Style. They can't. Right. Yeah, they don't have a Doggy Style in them. Like special people have special stuff in them. You know what I'm saying? And L is one of those special guys. And it's like, no, like it made me consider my placement of him differently. Because when I think about it, it's hard for me to keep him out of the top 10 when I really think about everything that he's contributed. Like his cultural contribution is top 5.
Yeah.
His cultural contribution is top 5. His hit making is top 5.
He's in a very unique space of hip hop.
Like he was never Rockim on the mic, and nobody ever needed him to be Rockim on the mic. It was cool.
But that's what makes him unique. But cool, that's what makes him unique because LL is one of the first. You know, LL is one. He predates all of them.
Predates Rock, yeah.
Yeah, he predates Kane, all those guys. LL actually came out after like the disco / hip hop murder.
No, disco's still going on. Like when L is coming out, Houdini and Curtis Blow are the thing.
Right. Curtis Blow was the one.
Curtis Blow, Kool Moe Dee.
Right. Curtis Blow was the one. It was Curtis Blow and everybody else you hear.
Yeah.
We're
playing basketball. We're playing basketball.
But he wasn't, for whatever reason, as great as L was, he wasn't cultural shifting enough in 84 to shift everything, right? Like we talk about Nas and Illmatic. Illmatic shifted the way rappers rhyme. Even if you think about Rockim shifted the way Paid in Full shifted the way you wrote after that.
Think about this. When did Paid in Full come out?
87.
87.
It's 3 years after L.
But you know what though? What I respect about L is he didn't try to be Rockim after it Paid in Full drop. Right. LL continued to be himself.
Right.
No. Yeah, because Bigger and Deffer comes out like that year, doesn't it?
I think that was 86.
That was 86, I think. That was 86.
86. Yeah. So he had an arguable classic under his belt before Paid in Full drop.
Yeah, but look at like this.
Radio and Bigger and Deffer. Bigger and Deffer and radio in most people's minds from those era are classics. Like I've had people tell me, I'm like, those albums are just really great. They're not classics. They're like, Coop, those are classics. Like you wasn't there. Like you wasn't there with us.
Because it was, so when Shan came out, right? Shan and L, and again, anyone who was from that club back then, we used to always felt like Shan and L was like right there. Because Shan was one of the biggest things in Queens at that time.
I don't think it was that close.
No, I'm saying as far as tone.
That's home shit. That's home team shit.
No. I'm talking about, I'm not saying that they're on the same level. I'm saying tone-wise.
No, that's saying, okay. I'm saying on some Queen shit, y'all might have thought that, but none of us like outside of Queens.
No, and I'm talking about tone-wise.
Vocally? You mean like vocal tone?
Tone and just
aesthetically,
aesthetically, not the actual music, but just aesthetics. Because you go back and look at early Shan, look at early L. Look at the aesthetics. I'm talking about just visual aesthetics. I'm talking
L had a wider reach.
Yes, pause. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes, he did.
Both of y'all crazy.
That was crazy. I'm gonna let it go. I'll let that
but now L was in a space where like he was a superstar where, you know, I remember like listening to radio when I was a kid. Like L was popping when Michael Jackson was making his biggest hits. Like,
but AJ, hear me out though. That's why Shan thought that LL was fighting him, because there was connective tissue. There was some DNA there. You know what I mean? You're talking about I Need Love versus, you know, the joints that Shan was coming out with. You know what I mean? Aesthetically, they were very similar. I'm not saying they're on the same level in no capacity.
Shan's probably doing more stuff for the streets. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell people, well, LL Cool J is our first star.
Yes, but look,
he's our first solo star.
He was
go ask a 50-year-old black woman right now if she knows who Curtis Blow or MC Shan is. She might be like, yeah, I think I kind of remember them. Then ask her, be like, you know who LL Cool J is? Hell yeah, I know who LL Cool J is. Nigga. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Don't ever ask me no stupid shit like that again.
He transcended.
Right.
Transcended, yes. Shan never transcended, and I love Shan.
But he's right too. Like, here's what he did that people really don't like him for in the male dynamic of it.
Yeah,
he did realize early on that he was a sex symbol, and he's the first person to take advantage of his sex symbol. He took advantage of it, and the other dudes try to knock him for it. But quite frankly, it's like, you want to know how they knocked him for it? Because they weren't as aesthetically pleasing as he was outside of, I think, Kane, maybe to women. Like to women outside of Kane.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Those other dudes couldn't pull the sex appeal card. They couldn't pull the smooth card.
And let's be real, it preserved his career.
It definitely did. It kept him afloat. It kept him afloat during the times when
it held him down when when niggas tried to let him go multiple times.
It did. But not to mention he was beating cats in battles. You're talking about Ice-T. You're talking about Kool Moe D, who was not. Don't get it twisted. Kool Moe D was a rapper's rapper.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, Sean. Imagine Drake modern day. Like making the songs for the ladies and clubs, but winning every rap battle that he's been in, beating Kendrick, beating Push, beating every battle he's been. That's what LL did in his era.
He did. This dude had Ice-T's.
I love that analysis.
Under a tire. This dude called Ice-T a hip hop raccoon because he had the raccoon.
Next topic.
Well, Ice-T a hip hop raccoon was crazy, you know. James Smith.
You don't want us to get sponsorship. You don't believe in sponsorship.
I'm just saying.
You just want to sponsor your bad habits.
That's a crazy line. He called me hip hop raccoon, man, because he had like a rat tail joint. I had a rat tail too, man. Back in the
hey.
Sean said, "F the sponsors, a pure courtesy of myself."
Courtesy of myself. Sponsor myself.
Right. Sean's quantifiable facts.
Yo, shout out to James Smith. You said they said LL? James Todd Smith. James Smith, $10 chat. LL is number 4 all time in my list behind Nas, Kendrick, and Jay. Don't let Coopy, I don't want Coopy see that. Classic albums, longevity, lyricism, content. which he doesn't have as much acclaim and battles won. Yeah, I mean he technically
no. We're not letting James slide. James, you had credibility.
Yo,
And then you
Curtis
put Kendrick in your top 4.
was whack.
You lost
Yo,
credibility.
Curtis said that on MC Shan's on Left Me Alone was whack. Nah, bro, that's a Queen's classic. Man.
Yo,
that's a Queen's classic, Sean.
Yo, Sean, real quick, we had this conversation. I just had an epiphany. We had this conversation when we was doing Station Head, like about a year or so ago, behind the scenes. We was talking about groupings because we was talking about you had the big 3. This was before the battle. We had the big 3: Kendrick, Cole, Drake. Then you have the Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas grouping and stuff. And we was questioning, did LL get left behind because he predated these guys? And then you had the changing of the guard when Kane, Rockim, KRS, and G-Rap came in. And we always put those guys together. But LL was kind of off by himself, you know what I'm saying, alone. So remember we was talking about that, saying like, is that why he gets left out of these conversations?
So can I tell you the guy that really actually replaced L? Tupac.
I ain't mad at that because I see all the demographics that Tupac hit. Yeah.
Because if you actually look at, but think about Tupac as an MC. Is Tupac lyrically a Cool G Rap, Big Daddy, Rockim type of character? Or is he more an LL type of character on the mic? Like songwriting, hit making, touching.
Battle tested.
With a sprinkle of Chuck D in there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
there's some Chuck D and Ice Cube in there, but what I'm saying is that, and listen to what I'm about to say. Well, name a rapper before Tupac who was a male sex symbol, because Tupac's a male sex symbol in rap. Who would the guy be before that?
Can't think of nobody.
Just L. He's L's replacement for the ladies too.
Kane in there. You could probably throw Kane in there.
Oh yeah, Kane. Yeah, Kane.
Yeah, you could throw
Kane. Took it a little too far though.
He went crazy.
like Kane. I'm not joking when I say this. Kane operated more how like a pimp who has hoes operates.
Okay? Yeah, this feels butt ass with Naomi Campbell and Madonna, boy. Kane was doing this thing, bro.
Right.
He was
out. But what I'm saying is that in terms of the object of women's affection in this hip hop sphere, Tupac replaced LL in a lot of those ways. With the hit making joints for the ladies, like Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around, he replaced L in a lot of those ways. So a lot of what happened, like there's a reason that on Phenomenon where he goes, you know, who was the man before Tupac and Biggie Smalls? Like there's a reason that L is saying that.
Yeah.
Because he can see where they've taken his place in the hit making and sex appeal sphere. You get what I'm saying? In Tupac's case is like both. Like Tupac was a hit maker and had sex appeal for the ladies, very much like L. Think about Brenda's Got a Baby. The ladies resonate with that joint. I Get Around.
Yeah.
Like
I mess with the analogy, Coop, and the whole premise of what me and Sean was talking about is just name recognition. Like if I throw out, if I say Jay-Z, you're gonna say Nas. If I throw out Big, you're gonna say Pac. If I throw out Cole, you're gonna say Kendrick. Like it's nobody that we put next to L. And when you say these names together, if I say Kane, you're gonna say Rockim. And I think where he was off by himself, that's where he got left behind.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is where the Tupac comparison comes in again. Transitional figure. L's the transitional figure from the disco into the real hip hop.
Yep.
Tupac is the transitional figure from the old school Black Power fist. You know, like Tupac is the melting pot of all the things that the 80s created. He's a hit maker.
There's that clear divide in between his second and his third album where you can hear, you know.
Clear.
Tupac's legend grew.
He's got he's got Ice Cube and Scarface and Chuck D in him, but he also has like L and Slick Rick and Kane and KRS in him, and it's kind of like oh no, he kind of does like all the things. Tupac filled a lot of gaps.
He did, but that was over time though, cool, because LL was that since inception. Tupac was like
this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm gonna push back on that. You know how I found out about Strictly for My Niggas? I sat next to a homegirl from my block, like on West Boulevard, in 7th grade, and she was next to me playing Strictly for My Niggas, and I'm like, I think that's that cousin. I think that's that tape that my cousin has. And so I'm looking at the tape and I'm asking her, I'm like, what do you know about Tupac? She's like, I love Tupac. He's so sexy. He got such a sexy voice. He can rap his ass off. She was like, you sleeping. That's how I found out about Strictly for My Niggas. I found out about Strictly for My Niggas from a chick who was in 7th grade that was in love with Tupac. The way like ladies love Cool James. That was in 7th grade. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, he had it like that with the ladies early. Like I didn't realize it. It's like if I went through my junior high school years, it's like the girls had pictures in their locker of Nas and Pac and Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nas,
I mean,
Pac,
let's be real. I Get Around is a LL type sounding record.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's straight off the LL. Like that's what I mean about Pac. How Pac replaced a lot of people. Well, he had the social consciousness of a KRS-One.
Temptations is a LL type record.
Yep. Yeah. He had the social consciousness of a KRS-One and a Chuck D, but he had the appeal and the hit making sentiments of an LL Cool J. But
absolutely,
he had pimp talk like Kane, but he was like, yeah, he had a lot of things. So Pac replaced a lot of people. That's why a lot of people from our era have him as the GOAT. That's why a lot of people from the era revere him so much, is because it's like, oh no, he did start all this shit. No, Biggie really did take his formula, but the formula that Big took from Pac was a formula of all the guys that came before him. So there's some L in there, there's some Kane in there, some KRS, some Chuck D, some Ice Cube. There's some of everything in that bag that Pac had. And so he's the one that really took like L out the game in a lot of sense in terms of how he's revered.
I get it, but all I'm saying is the Pac that we talk about today was a build-up. He didn't come out the gate swinging. It was a build-up. It was Pac's legend grew more so in Pac's his last couple of years. The legend of Pac was really around the time that he got shot, went to jail, came out, death row. That's the Pac. That's his true legend.
Well,
everything before that, they don't talk too much about Digital Underground like that. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying, Sean. Those last couple of years was lightning in the bottle.
In the bottle.
Right. Like how about this? Sean, let me ask you something. How many niggas get shot in the elevator 5 times and live to tell about it? And they actually talk for a living. You know what I'm saying?
That's
in,
what I'm saying.
Like reciting words and poetry is actually their living. Who gets shot in the elevator 5 times and survives to talk about it?
That's what I'm saying. That's when the legend
began. Who the fuck is pointing these guns? Like what?
Bingo. That's when the legend began. No different than 50. People wasn't really messing with 50 when How to Rob came out, but when he got shot and came back and started talking, then
I say a little bit before that, Sean. I would say when Pac shot those, off-duty cops, and then he was catching the cases and all that. That's when, and then the movies around that time. That's when it really started to build.
Strictly for My Niggas is a platinum album.
It is. Yeah. We weren't talking about Pac Strictly for My Niggas at that time.
It's a big deal. Like, hold on, Strictly for My Niggas.
When did it come out? When did it come out?
93.
93. Yeah.
Strictly for My Niggas and Ready to Die did comparable numbers. You understand what I'm saying?
We weren't checking for it.
Nah, Sean, you wilding on that. I mean, I had Tupacalypse Now. You know what I'm saying?
93, come on.
Sean, I'm trying to tell you.
God. Like I had Tupacalypse. I mean, older cousins put me on Tupacalypse Now and Strictly.
People was checking for Pac.
Yeah.
In
West Virginia, bro. And maybe in Queens they wasn't doing that, but in West Virginia, we was checking for Pac.
Like Sean, I always tell people, it's like, no, I know you remember 96 Pac, but 93, 94 Pac's a very, very fucking big deal.
Yo, don't even bring up Thug Life. Let's not even bring up the Thug Life compilation.
Swear about Thug Life. I heard
Thug Life was crazy.
I heard Thug Life compilation in so many fucking hoods in Charlotte. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, Thug Life numb.
Thug Life was a first day cop when it came out for me, bro.
I'm not talking that sense. I'm talking about the legend of Pac. I'm not talking about the beginning stages of
So are we. That's what we're trying to tell you. We're trying to tell you that for a lot of Tupac fans, like his core base, the legend is 1993 is like where it really starts. Like 92, 93 is where it really starts.
But to your point, Sean, it catapulted. those last two, you know.
That's just that death row shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, no,
Not,
like
Me Against the World. That was pre-Death Row.
Me Against the World is quadruple platinum. You understand that?
Yeah.
Quad.
I can't see that. I can't see that. And Pac was heavy on the East.
What do you mean you can't see it? It is.
What do you mean you can't see it? It doesn't matter. This isn't a fucking total.
It's a quantifiable fact, son.
I would be back next week.
It don't matter if you can't see.
Quantifiable facts, Exhibit A, AG, and Cool. Nah, I'm just messing. Nah, I see what you're coming from.
Go to the next topic. We're done with you.
I see where you're coming from. But last piece to that, LL did mention his Mount Rushmore for Def Jam, and he had Beastie Boys himself. He also had Public Enemy, and he had Slick Rick. I don't think you can argue that Mount Rushmore for Def Jam. I don't think anyone was left out. I thought about it a lot today. I don't think that no one was left out. I think it makes so much sense, especially from his lens. When LL says this, I listen. I don't think there's no way you can dispute that. You can have your personal Mount Rushmore, but I don't think you can dispute that.
I was surprised by the Run DMC omission. Personally.
So I thought about that too, AG, but keep in mind, Run DMC wasn't Def Jam.
They weren't.
They were in 84.
They were Rush Management.
I thought they signed to Def Jam in 84, 85 after.
Run was signed. They were under a different handle.
They were under Arista. Because remember, Run DMC a year before Def Jam was even formed.
Right. And I thought that first joint.
They started with Profile Records, and later on they went to Arista.
Profile, that's what it was. Profile,
yeah. They were just affiliated based on Russ. Of course.
I thought they signed a couple of years after that, but I guess I'm wrong.
If I may.
No.
Russell Simmons, Kevin Liles, Leo Cohen, like all those guys, like the brain trust that really made Def Jam into what it is. Rick Rubin to a degree, even though I'm sure Rick didn't get a cut off this. Oh no. They got super rich when DMX dropped It's Dark and Hell is Hot. So DMX belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Def Jam artists because, like Method Man himself said when he did an interview, oh no, when DMX dropped is when niggas started buying houses and cars and like estates and stuff. DMX is like that. No disrespect to L, Public Enemy, Slick Rick, Beastie Boys, Jay, Nas, Kanye. I'm going to say this again. Niggas is going to hear me when I'm talking. In the 1990s, while Nas and Jay-Z were outside and at their peak, this man took over rap. He took over rap on the same label that Jay was on.
Cool. I disagree.
I don't care if you agree or not.
But what's your other three, Cool? This
is not argumentative. This is
yes, it is.
No, let's all name our personal Mount Rushmore.
Nobody this side of LL has done for Def Jam what DMX did for Def Jam with It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
What's your other three, Cool? What's your other three on your Def Jam Mount Rushmore?
I'm taking Public Enemy and LL. That's easy.
Let me get this super chat. Hold up. That's where you guys about to go. Let me get the super chat. Tracy G. Yeah, Sean, I'm 44 years old and I fell in love with Pop. Tupacalypse. Now and strictly for my niggas representing 93. I'm 44 as well, Tracy G. So thank you for sharing that with me. I stand corrected. I guess Pac was a legend in 93.
Yeah, he was big in 93. He
bucked it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm putting DMX on my Mount Rushmore of Def Jam. And I don't like I know that LL, DMX, and Public Enemy are there. If you want to argue about the fourth slot is a Beastie Boys, Kanye, Jay-Z argument in a lot of ways, I think maybe.
For me, what I'm gonna say is gonna be controversial for my four. But I gotta speak.
Like Slick Rick is culturally important, but Slick Rick only released one album on Def Jam that really.
Right.
I can't do that. DMX did what Slick Rick did twice in 1 year.
Right. He did. Sean said the key word LL through his lens. LL is correct, but I'm looking at it through my lens. as somebody who's 43 now, and in the era that I came up in, what Def Jam meant to me. You know, LL is the first person on that Mount Rushmore for me because he's hip hop's first superstar. That's the house that he helped build. But my other three might be looked at as controversial, but we got to look at the big picture. I got J, X, and Ja Rule on my Def Jam Mount Rushmore because of the three conglomerates.
You got who? You got who?
J, X, and Ja Rule on there for the three conglomerate, the three-headed monster
You one of those
that
niggas.
they helped build. You got Rockefeller, you got Rough Riders, and you got Murder Inc. Three conglomerates all under the same house, same umbrella that took Def Jam out of here. Everybody wanted to be on Def Jam, and these
DMX
three
took
labels are the reason why.
DMX took Def Jam out of here. Them niggas is Tito and look. Everybody Tito and Jermaine in '98. Okay, everybody Tito and Jermaine in '98.
Let's be real, Coop. Far as the conglomerates go, Murder Inc. was just as big as Rough Riders.
Tell Jay he need to be Jack. You better grab a guitar in 1998, nigga. No.
Yeah.
Will not.
Cool.
How about this? I put Slick Rick over Ja just because the greatest adventures of Slick Rick blows like everything.
But see, you talking about an album. I'm talking about a conglomerate.
But the album's more important than anything Ja Rule ever did by far in leaps and bounds, like quality wise and impact wise.
But cool. That's the same thing you said for X. Ja's the same thing you get for X for being on there. Ja Rule can be on there too.
Right.
Ja Rule was a
DMX made it dark and hell is hot, nigga. Don't ever tell me that's the same
Ja
thing.
Rule also
you confusing a classic album with helping build a house.
If you put all of Ja Rule's albums together, I don't know if you track for track beats It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Don't tell me that.
Okay,
shit.
that's the quality of an album. What did more to build the Def Jam house?
What carried Def Jam?
What built the house more?
DMX.
No, not DMX. Slick Rick or Ja Rule, and what Murder Inc. did. What helped build the house of Def Jam?
In terms of carry?
The lights on.
Anything.
What kept the lights on? They wasn't going to Slick Rick.
Slick Rick did numbers for its time.
You shouldn't have to think about that, bro.
You had to take him off because he only had one album with Def Jam.
No, but I mean, if you're talking relationally in terms of like how inflation works, like to the record sales, it's like no, like what Slick did was pretty like.
Let's keep it a buck. They lost money on Rick when Rick got locked up, man. Like, let's not do that.
Correct. Yes. When he got locked up. But what he did before he got locked up, what he did before he got locked up on a qualitative level, better than Ja Rule. On an impact level, better than Ja Rule. On a sales level, I'll give Ja Rule the edge, but it's comparable if you looked at the time.
It's not even close.
Because niggas is like selling 700,000-800,000 units back then was a big deal.
I see what you're saying, Coop, but I think you're confusing your contribution to hip hop versus contribution to the label.
Possibly. That's fair. No, that's fair.
So
that's fair analysis. Because Slick Rick inspired way more of these niggas than Ja Rule did.
Bar none. Like, it's not even a conversation for contribution to hip hop. But for what Ja Rule was to Def Jam, I don't think Slick Rick is seeing that.
You tried to put Ja Rule next to DMX and Def Jam's pantheon? Is that what you just tried to do?
What is it now?
You just tried to put Ja Rule next to DMX and Def Jam's pantheon?
Those three conglomerates were running at the same time. Murder Inc., Rockefeller, and Rough Riders.
Guess who's outselling both of them?
Yeah, that's great. Those conglomerates were running, but X was the man.
But we know what the three flagship artists were. They were a group within themselves. You know what I mean?
Your flagship artist. What I'm trying to tell you is that you got three flagship artists. Who's the fucking man?
Who kept the lights on?
DMX is the fucking man.
X was.
X is the man.
But I had X.
So I'm not.
But what are you arguing? Because I had X on there too.
Hold on. Look at it like this. It's 1998. Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule play the same position. Let's say they play small forward. Who you picking for first team? Who you picking for second team? Who you picking for third team? Don't tell me the second team and third team niggas is better than the first team nigga in '98.
I didn't say that.
How the conglomerate built.
I didn't say that because all three are on my Mount Rushmore. I just said I never said
What I'm
DMX
trying to tell
wasn't.
you is that even in their best year, productively for all three of them, there's a separation, quality-wise, artist-wise, impact-wise, album-wise.
See, this is what Coop does. Coop be gaslighting because he coasted from arguing Slick Rick to arguing DMX, who I have on my list.
For Sean Quantifiable Facts next week. I got it.
Like I think you ain't get me with that one. Coop. We was talking about Slick Rick versus Ja Rule, and then you flipped it to DMX.
AG, if we do Sean's Quantifiable Facts this week, I'm gonna log out. Sean's Quantifiable Facts. Fucking some quantifiable.
Nah, but that's my 4. Who's your 4, Sean?
Nobody want to know Sean's 4. Sean's 4 is nasty work. Next topic.
Yo, Coop is bugging. No, I
he probably got Nas on his Mount Rushmore for Def Jam.
That was his weakest era, other than Life Is Good.
It was. I'm surprised that you didn't put Memphis Bleak on there. But no,
Bleak is the GOAT, man. What you mean?
He loves Bleak, man. Do-rag Bleak. Look, LL should be on everyone's Mount Rushmore, no matter what, however you want to address it, however you want to frame it. He got to be on there. I do have X on there because when Def Jam hit that brick wall, when they were close to like really shutting things down, they had to go to X twice in 1 year. He was the only rapper on that roster that had to go. They had to say, "Look, it's Dark and Hell is Hot is like hotcakes right now. We need you to do it again at the end of the year. By the way, couple months." We need something else. Fourth quarter, you need to drop. They didn't go to Jay for that.
August and December. Nasty work. August and December.
Exactly. And by the way, we want you to drop another one in 99. So X dropped 3 joints in less than about a year and a half time span.
About 20 months.
Yes, easy. So yes, X, you got to give X that. Jay, for obvious reasons, because when you think about Def Jam during that time when Def Jam was doing their rebrand and reboot, Jay was a centerpiece to that, right? So you got to put Jay on there. I went back and forth on this personally because I thought I want to be more. What's that?
He said Jay.
Jay, I got Jay on there. I went back and forth in this person because I wanted to kind of show diversity for a specific reason. Because I do have Ja up there. Because again, you can't disrespect the fact that Ja did after X started kind of flaming out a little bit. Let's keep it real. God bless the dead. X started kind of lingering back a little bit because he was doing a lot. He gave them a lot of albums in a short period of time. He was doing movies, so on and so forth. Jay also had hit his zenith with Volume 2, highest selling record. Volume 3, he dipped a lot. I think by 300 basis points he went down. Guess who they went to? They went to Ja because Ja was outselling J and X for 3 to 4 year time span when Def Jam needed that because Method Man wasn't doing it.
Cool. That was a real thing. That was a real thing.
I know 3 to 4 years.
Don't do this, Coop, because you're gonna make him do another Quantifiable Facts. Like it was a real time that happened. We don't want this for next week.
I just Googled the number, Coop. I got it right here. So now
I'll take Redman over Ja Rule in the Pantheon.
That is crazy.
Def Jam, Mount Rushmore.
But that goes against your particular point before, where you were saying how
There's the dark side is
X numbers. So what's more important? We're not talking about just. We're not.
Redman and Method Man had to be marketed together to even be commercially viable. Year of the Man, remember that?
The Man, 1998. They had to go into that together because Def Jam was about to cut the lights off. Because EPMD wasn't moving units, Slick Rick wasn't doing it for them. LL was at an impasse at that time.
Can we just pause for a second? I just want to let you know I don't like either one of you. Keep going.
I'm just saying.
What is that about me?
What do we do? Cool. I'm just saying.
No. Y'all sitting up here campaigning for Ja Rule or DMX. Like I don't know.
Ja Rule. I have to have.
No, he named X. He said X. It's not Ja Rule over DMX.
Ja Rule used to be fucking DMX's hype man.
It's Ja Rule with DMX. They're both on our Mount Rushmores.
Yes.
N-O means no. It means no. It means no. I'm not putting DMX and Ja Rule on the same Mount Rushmore for Def Jam. I'm not.
You have to.
No, I
you
don't.
have to, Coop.
I don't have to. I don't. How about this?
Oh,
How about this?
you
You know how I know I don't have to? Because I'm not doing it right now. How about that?
But my wild card,
No.
my wild card was Foxy Brown, and
That's not a bad pick.
Foxy Brown. Here's why. I know, Coop.
Coop is rejected, bro.
Coop.
He don't want that ill nah.
As people say on Twitter, in my opinion, like the guy that Jack Flame, he says, my opinion. I'm going to say my opinion.
Your opinion sucks.
Foxy Brown was a piece that I think that was needed in Def Jam at a time where the transition was going on. Don't forget, Def Jam had some dry years going into the 90s. Because, matter of fact, AG and I did a versus battle, Loud Records and Def Jam.
That joint was dope.
Yeah, 90 to 94 isn't Def Jam's shining moment as a label.
It was all the way up to close to like 97. 98 is when they regained momentum.
Took off, yeah.
No, I don't know. See, this is what I'm saying. When you're talking about regaining momentum, you do understand. Like in 1994, they had Method Man and Redman.
Yes,
94.
Okay, they were 95. Then what happened?
Neither one of those albums were commercially viable.
So when you talk, both of those albums went platinum. When you're talking about,
I don't know if Redman did. I know Method Man did.
Went gold, Takao went platinum. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, Muddy Waters might be his only platinum album, if I'm not mistaken.
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is that when you're talking about 98 and you're talking about Def Jam didn't come back till 98.
Yeah.
I would like for you to rank for me in order who spearheaded that. Go ahead, rank it for me in order.
I don't know, but my dark horse candidate was Joe Budden because Pump It Up was crazy.
That is crazy for you to have that.
I'm joking.
I don't want to talk to y'all anymore.
I'm joking.
That's cool. I already conceded to that. I agree. I said it.
So hold on. Hold on. What I'm trying to say is that if Def Jam is Def Jam rap's greatest label?
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're talking about their peak runs, what I'm saying is what you're not about to feed to me is that 3 of the 4 guys come from the 98 run. When the reality of the matter is if you don't have at least 2 or 3 guys before that run, there is no Def Jam in 98.
But who was it?
So hold on. So hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. So LL and Public Enemy are definitely in there. And DMX is the guy who's the man in 98. So if you want to pick Jay-Z or Ja Rule, I'll give that to you and I'll concede that to you. But what you niggas not about to do is put all 3 of these niggas in there when X was the man. Like, no, you're not. And you're not about to tell me that what they did contribution-wise to Def Jam is more important than Public Enemy and LL, because it's not. And LL...
Nah, nobody's saying that.
No.
So LL and Public Enemy are in. DMX is in. Now, if you want to pick Ja Rule or Jay-Z, well, we can have that conversation. But what you're not about to do is tote all 3 of these niggas out here. You're not about to do that.
He said he's not taking all of the...
Why?
No.
Who don't want the murdergram?
You're not about to tote these niggas out here and try to equate it to some sort of equality when DMX is the man. All these guys are in their prime. DMX is the man.
Well, to my point, Coop, I don't know about Sean, but for me, it's not them necessarily individually. It's the conglomerates that all 3 of them spearheaded. To have 3 conglomerates under the same label at one time was insane.
Yes. We're talking about
big conglomerates.
Apple now.
No, I hear what you're saying about the conglomerate. All I'm trying to tell you, like, how about this? Oh, no. Notice how Jay-Z is on a Rockefeller compilation. Where they at on Jay's compilations? Where are they at? Like Ja Rule? What I'm saying is that Ja Rule and Jay-Z conform to what X had going on, not the other way around.
Yeah,
like, brought niggas into his world. They're conforming to him. You can't put them on the same.
They all 3 collab with each other, though.
Hold on. It's 1998. Is Jay-Z on It's Dark and Hell is Hot?
No.
Is DMX on Volume 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
I rest my case.
Guess who else is on Volume 2 though? With the biggest hit on Volume 2.
Who had the biggest hit on Volume 2? Ja Rule. which was his song.
Well, not the Hard Knock Life was the biggest hit, but Can I Get It was the second biggest.
Yeah, it was Ja Rule's song. Ja Rule, you know who Ja Rule did? He gave it to Jay. That was Ja's song. He gave it to Jay.
Big facts.
Okay, you can put the two of them together. They might beat DMX in '98 if you put the two of them together at the same time.
Rough Riders were actually a priority at that time. They weren't
correct. You know why they were a priority? Because DMX is the guy running hip hop, while Jay and Ja Rule are running around.
But Coop, you're forging the competition that we're not saying is a competition.
I don't care about no trio. I don't care about no Holy Trinity. Nigga, it's DMX in 1998, and then there's these other niggas. There's these other niggas rapping.
I can't do this.
I don't know, man.
Who the fuck Jay-Z? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, but the three of them as a conglomerate, man. Fuck all that, man. Like, this shit don't happen about it.
What are you talking about? Oh, you understand? I didn't get it.
Moving on. Moving on.
Next topic.
What's that Drake line? Coos Mount Rushmore is DMX with 4 different expressions.
With 4 different barks. Like,
I'd put Kanye on there before I put Jay and Ja Rule on there.
Nah, man.
You don't get Jay without Jay, though. Cool.
Nah.
You don't get to that without. Yeah.
And that's a different Def Jam around that era. That was kind of like a nasty era, if we being real.
DMX, Public Enemy, LL Cool J, and Kanye.
They had Jeezy though.
They had Jeezy. They had on Luda. They had Scarface with on Def Jam South.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Scarface over all you niggas.
It was a really weird
because
era.
that's hip hop, like not for the label. That's you thinking hip hop in general.
No, I'm saying on a personal level, I'll take Scarface over all these niggas.
It's not going to concede.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to concede.
I'm not conceding anything. So these are terrible.
And he just said "Blood in My Eye" was dope too. Like, what did he say? He said "Clapback" was dope.
It's not that I want you to understand that you're wrong. It's that I want you to understand your choices were terrible.
Congratulations, Coops. You just gave birth to the new Quantifiables fact segment next week. You know Sean going to come with some numbers.
That whole boy doing on when it crashes.
But that motherfucking man, what is this thing? Yo,
let's go to the next topic. Yeah.
I can't do this, Coop. I can't do this, man. This is my last show. Killer Mike.
I hope so. Shit.
Yo, Coop, your boy Killer Mike about to come up with an album. Should he be on the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta?
That's what you was doing, Sean. You was doing the Killer Mike dance when he won the award.
Little jig dance he did on the stage. Like, yo,
oh man!
I got on the stage and did a jig dance. Yo, this cat was like, hey, JJ, he was like, I was like, yo, what is he doing? Is he tap dancing? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
My bad.
All right. Let's reel it back in. Yo, I got a question. Is this new music or is this outtakes from the Michael album? Because I'm not clear on that because I've read a couple of different things.
I did too. I think from what my understanding is, it's a combination of both.
Okay.
Some outtakes and some new joints. This is pretty much, he has some freestyles on. This is the playlist right here. He has some freestyles on there. He has some unreleased joints. But I do think he had sharpened up a few of the joints to make it an actual some new songs and put some new stuff on there. I think they said Exit Non-Scenic Route was the one that was new. I think Summers and Junkies were fairly new. There's some other joints on here I think it says new, but for the most part, it sounds as if it's coming off as like a slight mixtape-ish type.
Just from the title, I'm expecting something real like soulful because he had a lot of soulful like church choir, backing type joints. And just from the title of this, that's kind of the sound I would be expecting for this.
Right. Yep. I'm not going to listen to it. Let's tell y'all should ask me to listen to it.
Nah, you got the A on, Coop. What do you got to say? You got the A on.
Feels kind of lost tapes-ish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like some cutting room floor stuff, but quality cutting room floor stuff. I'm a Killer Mike fan, but Killer Mike is also one of those guys that reminds me of how great the lineage of Southern rappers just from Atlanta is now. Because it's like, I don't even know if he falls in my top 10. when I think about it.
Out of Atlanta?
Out of Atlanta.
Okay.
So every time I hear something from Mike and its quality, and I understand like all the fanfare behind Michael, and I understand the Run the Jewels, and I understand all the legendary guest verse appearances and everything. But he is oftentimes a guy that when I sit back and I'm like, I don't even know if this guy is maybe top 10 in this city. And if he is top 10 in this city, he's on the back end of the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
Definitely back in, but I think he makes the top 10.
Hold on. It's not better than Andre, Big Boy, or CeeLo. We're clear about that, right?
We had 3.
Yeah.
Jeezy, T.I., and 2 Chainz are all past him.
We're at 6. Luda
would be 7.
7. Yep.
And so I think he viably comes into the conversation right there at 8. But
that's fair.
Guys, hold on. So I look at a young JID right now, and I say to myself, it's like, oh no, JID might pass you. There are people in this city that feel like Sahai the Prince is a better rapper. That would put him at 10.
Yeah.
There.
Nah, I'm with you.
Right there, right now. So it's like he's one of those guys. It's like his ceiling is 8. You like remember Vin Baker from the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah.
Like Vin Baker had about 3 or 4 years where Vin Baker was an all-star player.
Yeah.
But you never really thought that maybe necessarily Vin Baker was going to the Hall of Fame. But the way that Vin performed for about 3, 4, 5 years, got you 22 and 12 and like, you know, hit the post and like did his thing. And it's like I kind of look at like Mike that way a lot of the time. And so it's like I get excited, but I don't get overly excited because it's not like it's one of our top guys going out to go get it. Like listen to what I just said. Andre, Big Boy, CeeLo, Jeezy, T.I., Chainz, Luda. He's not better than those guys. We're all clear about that, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that analogy up, Coop, because you know, I watched the show y'all did on Brunch on Sundays, and y'all was like having a little back and forth about Sean's basketball career, and he showed me a little footage, and that's who his game remind me of, like Vin Baker. That's exactly who he played like.
Okay, AG, a couple things. First of all, Sean doesn't have a basketball career.
I mean, that was a great. We didn't even plan for that. We really didn't plan for that. But guess what? A leftover quantifiable fact, if you will.
God, I really don't want to see.
That's what I found.
Footage of you trying to play ball.
Look at number. That is the kid.
Yo, look, hey, Coop, look at the bootleg Clippers jersey. I thought he sent me a picture of Darius Miles.
2004. That was overseas, man. Chill out. Another quantifiable fact leftover. 2004. This was overseas. Yeah.
Look at.
I can't make it. It's so organic. It is so organic. I can't make this stuff up. This wasn't even scripted. It was just on standby, just in case the opportunity.
How you gonna have the fake Clippers jersey, bro?
These unscripted moments, Sean. These unscripted moments during the show is really making me want to script.
No, it was scripted because you had the picture ready.
I have everything ready. I want to be prepared this time. I had time to. I didn't travel this week, so I had time to really think about it.
I'm going to need your ass to get on the road and do something constructive. So that's what I would like moving forward.
No, that was a dope picture. I ain't gonna front. That was 2000.
Yo, no, I'm with you, Coop, on that top 10.
First of all, that picture looks like it got taken with a Kodak flash camera. Is that like
it was 2004?
1997, nigga. It's 97. Use the Kodak flash. You had to take it to Walgreens to get the footage downloaded.
It was actually from a magazine. It was a magazine clip.
You've never been in a magazine, Sean. This is ridiculous. I won't continue to work under these conditions. I need to get in the tournament.
It was the bootleg version of Slam. That joke is called Blam.
It's just called AM. Ain't even no S or no L.
No,
just AM.
It's about Killer Mike, please. It's not about my basketball career. Let's talk about Coop. Let's talk about Coop.
No, I'm excited for the Killer Mike, but I'm not overwhelmed. If you told me T.I. was dropping a project, that's why I brought him up. You told me Big Boy was dropping a project, CeeLo. Like, if you told me those guys were dropping a project, be like, oh, yeah. You know? Like, how about this? Like, you ever heard Deliverance by Bubba Sparks?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I love
those some of Timbo's best beats on that album. Let's keep it
some of Timbo's best beats. I don't think that Michael is better than Deliverance by Bubba Sparks.
So, man, look. Bubba went crazy on Deliverance.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, Coop.
Right. And so if you're telling me Michael is your ceiling, it's like well, shit, Bubba Sparks-CL and his Deliverance, those are comparable albums to me, and I prefer Deliverance.
Yeah.
Like, the beats are better on Deliverance because that's one of Timbo's best production drops as a rap producer.
Yeah.
Bubba Spark flow is crazy on Deliverance. He's crazy on Deliverance. His flow is crazy on Deliverance.
Would you put Gucci over Killer Mike?
Yes, I would have to. So that
He
would
done
put
fell out of the top 10.
So that would put him at 9. So imagine. So here's how you need to look at it. If JID or Sahai the Prince make an album comparable to Michael, you'd have to put them ahead, which would put him at 11.
Where do you got 20? Where do you got 21 and Lil Baby?
Not yet. They're Thug, Gunna.
You got.
I might put Gunna ahead of Mike overall because Gunna has made more quality songs in the time that he had his career than Mike had. Like, I know he can't fuck with Mike on the mic, like on some rap shit. But like Gunna's last 3 projects are all fucking bangers.
Yeah.
All 3.
Nah, well, I'm
off the 101.
Nah, I'm with you. I'm gonna defer to the ATL resident on that one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's like, hold on. Listen to what I'm about to say. Future. Are you sure he's even top 10?
Nobody brought up Future. Yeah, that's a good point.
We ain't brought Future up yet. I might have Future ahead of Chainz, actually. Like, not personally, but objectively.
I'm a big 2 Chainz fan, man.
No, I said objectively, not personally.
Me too. I ain't gonna front.
Objectively might have Future ahead of Chainz. Because for as dope as Chainz is, he don't got no fucking mask off or no March Madness.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it real. Chainz is better as a ingredient, like you put him on the track to spice it up, like a feature. You know what I mean? That's where he shines.
Method Man South is what we call him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Method Man South. He's Method Man South. Like Stove is the new Method Man. Chainz is Method Man South. Where it's like, think about all the guest verses that he's blistered.
That good music era run of Chainz was crazy.
Crazy. Legendary.
Chainz run was crazy. Chainz run is better than Mike's run. Like in this city. Like, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So it's like Mike. So hold on. So we're clear about this. Big Boy, Andre CeeLo, T.I., Jeezy, Luda, Gucci, Future. That puts him at 10 right there. That's without any 21 talk, any Lil Baby talk, any Gunna talk, Sean Paul from the Youngbloods talk, JID talk, Sahai the Prince talk. That's just in the A.
Shit, Gip.
Gip's up there.
Yeah.
Gip and Cujo up there. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, like when I hear people talk about Mike this way, it makes me realize how great Atlanta is for producing MCs.
Yeah.
Ill Magic said Migos. Appreciate you, Ill Magic.
You could maybe put Quavo in that mix somewhere. I don't think I'll put Mike over Quavo.
That is interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. We can give you a 20-piece of MCs down here right now. It's like comparable. Like on some bar shit, New York is gonna win. On some style shit, like Cali's gonna win, but like on some song making shit, our 20 guys, it's like I don't know, we running with anybody if we talking about the songs.
Y'all got a solid 20 for real.
Yeah. Like in Atlanta. In Atlanta.
Just Atlanta.
That ain't talking about
just Atlanta. Just
that ain't talking about Tennessee, North Carolina, Texas.
Right.
Houston, Memphis,
Yeah, Houston, Memphis. David Banner from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it shows me how the culture's grown.
The NO, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's Wayne.
Yeah.
BG, Juvenile.
Bun B.
Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah. That's a lot.
That's
a lot to deal with. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting take, cool. I appreciate that take. That's a very interesting take. I didn't think about it like that. I look at it like that. I feel good about it because
I mean, down here, I just look at it like this. It's like, he's like maybe top 10 out of Atlanta. Like maybe.
No, I'm with it. That was a good ATL breakdown, real quick.
It was a good one, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like, like we excited, but not like it ain't like no. Like and we didn't bring up Thug in all this. Like watch what happened to Thug Get Out down here. You feel me? You want to talk about a buzz? Oh no, that shit gonna light the city on fire if you get free.
No. Got Warner out there too. Still making some waves.
Yeah. We got hitters.
You got hitters.
Like, we got a legacy now. Like we have
You
a
do.
legacy now.
You know, I'm still smoking your boots in a battle though, but yeah, you do. You'll make it interesting. You make it interesting. Maybe 2 rounds.
That was supposed to happen and it never did.
How about this? How about this? You have to play your most classic hip hop records at this point from New York to beat the Southern rap list, though.
I go B-sides on you.
Nah, you don't want to B-side me. You want to A-side me.
I go live records B-side.
We got to get back to Station Head and make that happen.
This is what I mean when I'm saying you want to A-side me. It's like, oh no, if you want to beat like the Southern rap playlist, it's like, oh no, nigga, you understand you have to play Cream. You have to play Shook One. You know what I'm saying? You have to play Eric B as president. Like, you have to play Ain't No Half Step. And it's like, if you half step and play some of those records that like you think might win, you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll win. Soon as you play the Whisper song by Yin Yang Twins, I'm getting you up out of here.
I don't need to play the Whisper song to be here.
Yo, next topic, man. This is where we go on the tangent.
Yo, last couple of topics, fellas. Pitchfork rating, Coop's favorite publication that Coop went to war with a couple years ago. We're not going to stay too much on this, but they actually just posted another rating for Ice Spice new joint. They gave her an actual 7.6 rating. To put this in perspective, they gave Michael Jackson a 7.2 with Thriller, and they also did some joints here where they gave just a couple of albums. I want to show you guys the correlation here. My question to both of you guys: do you think that Pitchfork now is becoming a caricature of just rating systems? Are they doing it for clicks? Are they doing it for engagement? Because it can't be for real. Clearly, it can't be for real. Now, I haven't heard the Ice Spice album, and nor will I listen to the Ice Spice album. But 7.6 seems egregious in comparison to Michael Jackson, even KD3. I think KD3 was like 7.3
or something, 7.3,
something like that. So I want to see who the panel is. I think Coop did some research a while ago. They kind of researched who was the panel, who was on those panels. Definitely, they're not from our ilk, from our cloth. But do y'all think this is more so just about engagement than anything else? Because it can't be real.
I don't care what it's for. I just hope they stop. They just need to stop rating albums. If they want to report on hip hop news, then cool. Report on hip hop news, but just stop rating albums. That's not y'all's forte, and y'all miss more than you hit. So just leave that alone. That's all I got.
I don't have much either, AG. So I'm going to piggyback off of AG. I think these freelance writers need to be like tarred and feathered and driven around town, like amongst their peers after they've been tarred and feathered and made to be looked upon in shame. Like, we should dress them up. We should tar and feather them, dress them up like a chicken. We should tote them around. Yeah, you weren't expecting. I don't care. I don't care if you weren't expecting that. Because what I'm sick of is this picking any shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with these dudes, like they don't know what it's like to invest into a rap review. I don't know how else to say it. Like when I say invest in a rap review, I mean you might be a writer by trade. You might be a reviewer by trade. But there is something about hip hop musically that is more intangible than all the other genres of music. And you have to really tap into the spirit and the soul of this music in order to give an appropriate review. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't look at it from just a musicality standpoint. There is something intangible about what goes on with hip hop, Sean, to quote your punk ass segment that we didn't know anything about, that's quantifiable. The quantifiable fact. It's inundated in something that's intangible, but it's so it's an intangible that becomes so tangible that it becomes part of the fact and part of the lexicon about why you're drawn to an album. We're about to talk about this. And so I'm just going to lead into it by saying this is that I've played the Purple Tape more than I've played any other rap album, including Illmatic. But I have Illmatic at number 1 and the Purple Tape at number 2. That is because the messages and the themes that are inundated within Illmatic transition into pieces and parts of our culture that the Purple Tape doesn't. The beats on the Purple Tape are better. The rhymes on the Purple Tape are better.
Yep.
Now, unfair advantage, 12 motherfuckers rapping on the album, including the guy who made the other album that I'm talking about, might have his best verse on his guy's album. So there are some intangible things even going on the Purple Tape that make it supersede like the lexicon. And you have to be part of it, even down to the fact that we call it the Purple Tape. It's something intangible that becomes tangible that you have to be invested into this culture to give an appropriate and proper review. If It Takes a Nation of Millions were to come out today, if Straight Outta Compton were to come out today, musically they would give that shit a 6.5.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because they don't understand the intangible things that make hip hop what it is.
It's not palpable to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you're right. They don't got their hand on the pulse. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. And they don't. Well, see, here's the thing. We know that they don't have their hands on the pulse because they pick writers to do these reviews that don't have their hand on the pulse.
Right.
And so it's a systemic failure because it's like, no.
Because they don't care
like,
to.
I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny when I say this. Multiple times over the last 4 years that I've been in this podcast space, I've said, like, you're doing such a terrible job that if you will just reach out to me, I will do reviews for you. I might even give you a discount on the price because you need help, because you don't know. And you keep hiring these motherfuckers who don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep hiring people who don't know. Like, just because somebody from Brooklyn don't mean that they know. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Just because you from Brooklyn don't mean that you know, my G. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they're okay with them not knowing because they're not going to push back. They want someone.
Right. They want somebody.
Push back.
They are in the business of doing music reviews, so they are contributing to the music business in that regard. But are they viable in that sphere? Well, no, because they're not invested into the culture fundamentally. They're hiring freelance writers whose cachet and hometown and upbringing is actually greater than their connection to the culture, than their investment to the culture. And in a lot of cases, just their writing skills about doing a rap review because they spend more time trying to show how skillful they are as a writer instead of doing the rap review. Absolutely. How about you do the rap review first?
Absolutely.
It's like the Illmatic review starts off, this is one of the best rap albums I've ever heard. There's nothing sort of like literary about that that's striking except for the fact that it's like, you know, they're just telling you the truth. It's one of the best rap albums I've ever heard. It's like, that's what the fuck I wanted to know.
Word.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? There's no complicated way or no je ne sais quoi that you have to like sit up there and emote to get up there and get the real points across. Personally, Memory Lane is my shit. It's like, you want to know what? I personally happen to agree with you. Next to the audience.
Right.
There's nothing. The Illmatic review, there's nothing special about the Illmatic review. What's special about the review is that it was reviewed properly because they invested into the culture. Like, no. This album deserves 5 mics. Mm-hmm. We need to invest in it properly. Like the right. I was listening to this when I was on the train, and it hit me like this album's great. There's nothing complicated about that. There's no.
Misinfo was in the fabric of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference.
Look, in the withering and whistling heat of the July summer as I hopped on the train. No, she didn't do all that. She was like, nigga, I put my headphones when I was on the train. This shit fire. Yeah.
But see, that's connective tissue to, kind of like the brain is full circle. Because now you have Elliot and Charlamagne still beefing about, who's number one, who's number two, whatever in the media. But all of that works.
They both whack, man.
They both whack.
Moving on.
All of them. Every last one of them are whack, right?
I would like to say, I smoked both them niggas live. No rehearsal. No. Listen to me. I will smoke these niggas live with no rehearsal on the topic of their choosing. Like, I will show up, I will not rehearse, I will not know what the topic is, roll them up and smoke them.
As long as they don't have
I will put them in an old school 1.5 with their old asses. I will put them in a 1.5. I will roll them up, smoke them.
Smoking the media pack.
Next. I'll smoke both of you. Matter of fact, they can sit on the other side of me together collectively, cross their legs like little girls, like I know they're probably going to do when they see me. I will smoke them. 1.5.
Yo, Sean's face, yo.
1.5. Them.
Yo, Vybez Kartel is free.
Their new name is 1.5. Roll them up and smoke them. 1.5.
Oh man.
Turn for the worst. Vybez Kartel is free.
Big zag ass niggas. Roll them up.
If we have any Caribbeans out there, rejoice. Vybez Kartel is coming home. 13 years, he finally got acquitted. He actually 13 years ago, he was convicted for murder. They finally acquitted him, so now he is free. Social media is in a frenzy right now because they feel like he's about to drop some heat for the summer to close the summer out. So all of the Caribbeans out there, all my Caribbean folks out there, our family out there from the Caribbean, rejoice. He has returned.
Yo, that's another reason why we don't need Jamaican Drake. Vybez Kartel is free. Drake, stick to the bars, bro.
Go back to what you've been doing because Vybez is back. He's gonna bring the vibes back. So yo, he's free. 13 years, acquitted, man. And he was dropping music from the jail cell too.
Yeah, yeah, he's putting out joints.
He's putting out joints, anthems on top of anthems.
13
years. 13 years.
And he got acquitted?
Got acquitted.
It's called being a political prisoner. It's called being a political prisoner. When you're locked up for 13 years for murder and you're acquitted, that means you're not guilty. In case people don't know what that means. People say acquitted. Like, we got to be careful about the phraseology, the terminology, the verbiage that we use. Oh, he got acquitted. You mean he not guilty?
Yeah, it was a lot of issues around the jury with the trial. The original trial is what I read.
Yeah.
Jury problems in a trial?
Yep. There was a lot going on.
Very surprising to me.
A lot going on. But he's home. Twitter going crazy, social media going crazy. They are happy, man.
Yeah, welcome home.
So, fellas, just one quick round before we finish out the last part of the show. Nas is actually executive producing the music project coming up real soon. It's going to be October 18th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, October 18th. He's actually executive producing this joint. It's going to be called the Warriors album. The Warriors album is going to be like a compilation album. It's going to be more about, it's like a concept album by Lin-Manuel and Issa Davis, and executive produced by Nas. 26 songs through New York. From the Bronx to Coney Island, and it's going to be going through Atlanta Records. More to come on this. There's a lot of more information coming on it. Of course, we'll share as we get closer to that, but just want this on everyone's radar. This is pretty big for Nas to executive produce.
Oh, real quick, Sean, Mike Elizondo is producing on this as well. That's worth mentioning.
Elizondo he's a producer.
Who is executive producing the DJ Premier Nas album?
I
don't know. Moving on. Like,
really, this is what you gave me? This is what you gave?
This is something else, cool. This is a sidebar. This is a side quest. Yeah, for those who don't know, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did the Hamilton joint.
I want to know where my main bitch is at if this is a side bitch.
Coop is good for the culture, Coop. It's good for Nas.
Warriors is a classic movie. To my understanding, this is a concept album based on the premise of the movie. You know, so yeah.
That's great.
And they compiling it, and you know what I'm saying, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he does dope work. You know, most notably Hamilton. Him and Nas got, history. Nas did joints on the soundtracks before for Hamilton and all that. So I think it'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? And
Davis is very creative, very dope. Yeah.
Yo, in a concept record about the Warriors itself, if it like details the movie through the framework of the album, that would be fire. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Warriors is one of the dopest films, like, of that era, period.
It was. It's gonna be good. Cool. This is good for the culture. Cool. It's good for the culture. Nas
Can we talk about an album that's good for the culture? I'm done with this topic.
Nah, cool. This is hip hop, bro. Like, don't do that.
You got the GOAT executive producing a major concept album on Atlantic Records. It's pretty big, cool. It's pretty big.
And you know how Mike Elizondo gets down, like,
yes,
you know, if he doing beats on here.
2001.
Yes.
Shining moment.
Yep.
Yes. So fellas,
yeah.
Let's round the show out. Let's finish the show up strong with the 29th year anniversary of arguably one of the greatest albums of all time. Classic album.
Arguably the greatest.
Easily. I mean, from the aesthetics.
Do you mind if I get
the looks? Absolutely. I just want to show the pictures on just how this all came together. I mean, just look at the pictures and the color palette. I love this picture right here. Back in '95, when I first saw this picture, I wanted to recreate this picture. Everything about this album was dope. Even the cover, where Ghostface behind Raekwon with the guns pointing, gun fingers pointing. Everything about this album was flawless.
Iconic, man. Iconic.
Can't say enough. Go ahead, Coop.
The energy on this album. I don't think the energy on this album gets talked about enough. It's what I listened to. When I listened to it today, I was like, the energy on this album, in terms of the fervor with which they are rhyming and attacking the tracks that they are rapping on, is literally only rivaled in terms of the fervor, the intent, the energy. It's only rivaled by Straight Outta Compton and It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, and Into the Wu-Tang in a lot of respects. This album is like, imagine this. It's like 1974. And you got a gym. You got a boxing gym. And in that gym, you have a George Foreman, a Ken Norton, a Muhammad Ali, a Joe Frazier hitting the heavy bag, the same heavy bag daily. That's what Wu-Tang essentially like did on the Purple Tape album. They took RZA's beats and they beat beats up, like all-time great beats up, the way beats have never been beaten down. It's like hitting the heavy bag. These are heavyweight MCs at their hungriest, hitting the heavy bag. And they are literally hitting the heavy bag until like the sand busts out the seams. Like Ray and Ghost's lyrical energy and tenacity on here is one of the most understated moments in rap history. Their energy on this album is transferable. It's kinetic, it's energetic. They are literally hungry in a way that you have really heard guys that are already this well known, especially Ray, be this hungry on the mic. When I listen to the album today, I listen to it every year around this time and try to catch a different perspective. My perspective this year is the hunger of the album. It's a hungry place these guys are in. Mm-hmm. Like the way that these guys are rapping, I realized that the way that Ray and Ghost rapped on the Purple Tape, they never rapped like that again.
No.
Yeah.
The intensity with which they hit the microphone every time. On rainy days, I sit back and count ways on how to get done. Show and prove, ask my bitch, stood up late nights, chilling with my air lights. We can pull a heist, snatch ice, or rock mics, but this rap shit, like the way that they're hitting the mic, you know what I'm saying? Like the intention of the album, the energy is so strong. Like, we know about the beats. We know about the rhymes. I'm talking about the way that they hit the mic on this album. Like, when you listen to the way that Ray is hitting the mic on Incarcerated Scarfaces and Spot Rushers, when you're listening to them on Criminology, when you're listening, like, Ghost on this album, Ghost is berserk. I want people to understand this. Like, the way Ghost sounds on the Purple Tape, you haven't really heard Ghost since Into the Wu-Tang.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't heard Ghost in almost 2 years. I don't know in a 2-year rap span if I've ever heard a rapper get greater than he is on the Purple Tape. The guy that's on Into the Wu-Tang, I'm not saying he's just another guy, but he's not Deck or Jizza on the album. He's not Meth or Ray or Dirty on the album. So best place is 6. He rhymes on this album, and you're like, yo, I don't know for certain that he's not the best nigga in this crew. Outside of Ray's
later.
Like if you would have told me in 1995, it's like the best 2 rappers in Wu-Tang are Ray and Ghost. After hearing the Purple Tape, I wouldn't be surprised. And so think about Ghost jump from being about 6th or 7th in line in the clan to jumping up into the argument. Like, this is the album that puts Ghost in the conversation. It is a stellar mic performance by them two that gets overstated by some because, including by me, because the guest appearance mic performance is so stellar, from Master Killer to You God. Like, Master Killer and You God's best verses are on this album. One of Inspector Deck's 10 best verses is on this album. One of the Jizza's 10 best verses is on this album. One of Nas's 10 best verses is on this album. One of Method Man's 10 best verses is on this album. One of Method Man's 2 or 3 best hooks is on this album. But Ray and Ghost lock this shit in, and they just go for theirs on this album. This is what it sounds like when you go for yours. Like, they went for theirs on this album.
Yo, and not to cut you off, but the introduction of Capadonna, which had nice contributions on the album.
No, it's brilliant. And so let me finish off by saying this before I take it any further. And I've always said this, and I'm going to keep on saying this. This album, first of all, back when they made tapes and made CDs, there'd be a side A and a side B to a disc or to a tape. The side B of this album is the best side B in the history of rap. And it's not even close. There is not an album like the Shark Biter skit is track 9. That starts part B. From Ice Water, which is track 10, till you get to Heaven or Hell. No, that's the best run on the second half of a rap album in rap history. And there's nobody even close. Like, the closest thing would probably be It Takes a Nation of Millions. But as far as rap albums are concerned, if you play the second half of any rap album, this rap album destroys those rap albums. It doesn't beat those rap albums. It destroys those rap albums. Like, destroys. Ice Water, Glaciers of Ice, Verbal Intercourse. That's the best start off to the second half of a rap album in rap history, just so we're clear.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Beat-wise and rhyme-wise, it's not even conversational. There are not 3 songs like that in the row to start off the second half to a rap album. Keep in mind, we used to live in a time where these rap albums are only 9 to 12 songs long. Like, these are tracks 10, 11, and 12.
Mm-hmm.
This is after you've already got Knuckleheads, Knowledge God, Criminology, Incarcerated Scarfaces, Rainy Days, Guillotine.
Strong all the way through.
Then they hit you with that. And this is not talking about Ice Cream or Wu Gambino, so like sew this shit up at the end. I Always Have Illmatic has the greatest rap album of all time, but the rap album I've listened to the most, that has the best beats, that has the best rhymes, and when I listen to it today, has the best raw energy between 2 MCs that you'll find on a project. No, this is the project. And so I think the only thing that really keeps this album from being the greatest rap album of all time is that content-wise, very comparable to Doggy Style. When you have albums like Illmatic and It Takes a Nation of Millions that exist in the same framework, you can't beat them content-wise, because content-wise, they're touching into a broader sense of the community. But outside of that, it's the best shit I ever heard. And I listened to it again today. Like, when I hear Ice Water now, I still get excited like I'm a fucking 14-year-old all over again.
Ice Water is crazy.
It's like, oh no, that shit is like, check out the Rap Kingpin, the Black Jesus. I know a few niggas sniff coke, it causes seizures.
Yeah.
Piece of Half Moon Caesars and all the bitches in the bleachers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, he's crazy on there. Back in the dag, bagging cracks, scraping plates, flipping cakes. Who them heavy head niggas hating Jakes? When they're talking,
Classic.
even the interludes, the shark biter skit, the interlude, the shit before Glaciers of Ice. So no, but you dip them. So now I'd be like this shit with cream on top. Yeah. Like all that shit. Like we remember all this shit.
The
Like
St. Ives commercial playing in there in the whip. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
crazy.
that's what I'm like. Shit crazy. Watch these rap niggas get all up in your guts. French vanilla butter pecan chocolate deluxe. It might be RZA's best beat with Method Man's best hook next to Cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all Master Killer's verse on Glaciers of Ice, RZA's verse on Wu Gambino's, Meth's verse and hook on Wu Gambino's, and you got Ghost and Ray anchoring this shit. It's one of rap's finest moments. I don't care if you don't like the content. If you love rap, this is an easy top 5 rap album. Easy. There are not 5 rap albums better than this album. Not. They're not. There's just not. There's not 5 rap albums better. I can only think of one that's objectively better, and I actually prefer to hear this album. This is when I want to hear some rap shit, this is the album that I go to. When I want to get on my rap shit, I go to the Purple Tape. I don't go to Illmatic. I don't go to Paid in Full. I don't go to Doggy Style. I don't go to The Chronic. I don't go to Takes the Nation. When I'm on some rap shit, this is the album. This is the album. It's a special, special moment. Incarcerated Scarfaces. Think about this. I ain't even talked about Incarcerated Scarfaces like that. Like, yeah, like this album's special as rap albums get. It's the best collection of beats and rhymes that I've ever heard in my life, and it's 29 years since it's been released, and that maintains true to this day. It just doesn't have the timeless themes of Illmatic. Like, Illmatic wins on the timeless themes. It Takes a Nation of Millions wins on the social commentary. Doggy Style wins on the aesthetics. Paid in Full wins on the impact, but I can't tell you any of those albums are better. Not from beginning to end. Not from beginning to end, because from beginning to end, it's going to beat all of those records.
What you got, Sean?
Look, it checks all the boxes. It's probably one of the best produced albums of all time. Flawless beats.
I think it's the best produced album of all time.
Gotta be. Skits are on point. RZA did a phenomenal job. This was the album for me that put RZA number 1 as a number 1 producer. This is the one. This is his. This is his one. Everyone brought their A game to this album. Every lyricist, no bars wasted. You got dropping a hip hop quotable. Everyone dropped a hip hop quotable on this album in some capacity. It was a collection of the clan. They all fit the right way. Every song meant something. No song was wasted. There was no fillers. The skits made sense. The transitions made sense. I listened to it again today myself, and I wanted to. I normally go back to this album. I go back to this album a lot, actually, and I keep forgetting. Like Coop said, you get like an excitement. Like for me, my excitement was when I heard Knuckleheads come on. Like doom, 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 doom. Like that shit it goes crazy. It took me right back to 95. 15 years old, like really just learning how to be fly, because this album represented being fly. It represented like that mafioso. It represented wallabies. It represented all of those different things that I felt that was shaping my young style at that time. Because it was on some fly stuff, fly talk, even being able to change your diction, right? Because of all the slang that they was throwing out there, everything, Ghost saying, gorillas injected with strength of 80 midgets, just trying to figure out how fly can I say something in a rhyme? How can I say a fly thing to a female when I'm having that conversation at 15 years old because I'm listening to Ice Cream? You know what I mean? So it created, for me, it really shaped like a very formative part of my years. That's why it holds so dear to me.
See, this is what I'm saying. So when Ray is even on Knowledge God talking about, well, all my niggas always yelling that broke shit. Let's get money, son. Now you want to smoke shit.
Right.
Chill, God. Son, don't chill, Allah. What's today's mathematics, son? Knowledge, God. Like, I'm a Southern dude. Like, I'm a Baptist. Like, I'm a Christian. But it's like, I understood exactly what he was saying when he was saying it. Like, the energy behind it. It's like, no. It translates. It's like reading a different language, but you understand the emphasis because of how
You
they're
can feel
emphasizing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are my niggas always yelling that broke shit? Let's get money, son. Now you want to smoke shit.
Yes. And they sprinkled in so many different messages in this album so effortlessly. Even you go back to listen to North Star, and North Star is a bonus track on the CD.
Bonus shit.
And North Star, just even though rest in peace, Papa Wu, but North Star is the perfect button up to this album. It's the perfect, it brings it all full circle, even from the beat. And again, RZA did not waste a beat on this album.
It's the best beat performance ever. It's the best beat tape ever.
Absolutely.
It's the best beat tape ever.
No,
like he's number 2 on my list. It's mostly about this album, though. Let's not get it.
This album set the tone, and we talked about this. Cool. I think it was on. Last week we talked about Jizza and how important Liquid Swords was, and this came out that same year. And RZA went from a different palette from Liquid Swords to Cuban Linx and Cuban Linx to Liquid Swords, a different palette of soundscape. And for him to do that and lock in with Ghost and Ray and Ghost on this album, and you know who to bring in. Meth, I need you for this hook. Deck, I need you for this song. You got, I need you just only for this song for this reason. And you bring it all together. It's damn near it's the perfect blend. Straight up. No flaw.
Think about this. We only have one track with Raekwon, the Jizza, Inspector Deck, and Ghostface Killer on it. It's on this album. We only have one record like that.
Yep.
We only have one Ray, Ghost, and Master Killer record. It's on this album. We only have one Ray, Ghost, and You God appearance. It's on this album.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yes. Like there are a lot of special moments. Like the whole Nas infiltrating the Wu-Tang Clan. Like y'all know that was a thing. Like he's
they didn't mess with anybody outside the clan.
Like the first guy that we heard on a RZA track that wasn't part of the clan is a prime Nas, a GOAT Nas. It's like the greatest MC of all time. Like they knew what they were doing. It's like, no, like only Nas can rhyme to our shit.
It's a moment. It's a moment.
Greatest feature verse ever, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like if we're talking bars, we're talking bars, yes. But like the special moments just keep on happening. You know what I'm saying? Think about this. You don't hear Capadonna till Ice Water, and it's like, fuck is this guy?
Yes.
Made his presence felt. So
also made it put Raekwon in the conversation as King of New York.
We did old station head on that too, Sean.
It's a legit combo. But, I mean, like if you want to tell me that he's your guy in '95, it's like I'm cool with that. Big and Nas don't have an album. Jay's not here yet. It is Ray in '95.
It's Ray.
It's Ray. It's 95 Ray, because 95 Ray is on the Infamous too.
Yeah. I'm gonna just cover a few things because y'all covered a lot already. I agree with Coop. Like, I have Illmatic as the greatest rap album of all time, but that's only predicated on it being a solo mission. That's the only thing for me that gives it the edge over Cuban Linx. You know what I'm saying?
Solo mission and content has content transcend. Yeah.
But this, Cuban Linx as an album, once again, like Coop said, like it being a beat tape, I was, fortunate enough to come across the vinyl instrumental Cuban Linx album. And sometimes I'm in the crib, I'll just put that joint on, like just the instrumentals. You know what I mean? And just vibe out. RZA was in a whole nother zone when he did this album. Like whatever he was smoking, was crazy. Like, and I'm gonna more so speak to his genius, right? Because like Sean alluded to, he was able to create. That's why I have him at number 1. He did have all these great MCs at his disposal, but to be versatile enough to create different chambers for each and every one and the soundscape be different is amazing to me, right? And to have the wherewithal to say, I think this chamber right here needs a co-star. I'm gonna put Ray and Ghost together for this particular chamber because we can get the most out of that. So I think that speaks to RZA's genius, and like Sean was saying, like we want this feature and that feature. A lot of things. One thing that's not talked about enough with Cuban Linx. It's a movie. It's very cinematic. Everybody has their Gambino names, and it plays out like a cinematic movie from beginning to end. This characterization, is stories, drug tales, all this stuff going on throughout the course of an album, and it plays front to back, just like a film, like a movie. If this is a movie, then RZA's Martin Scorsese. You know what I mean? And he's handpicking his actors that he wants for this scene. Like this scene, I want you guys to come in on this scene. I want Capadonna, nobody's seen this character. I want him to come in on this scene. I want Method Man for these scenes. And every scene is getting knocked out of the park like a, blockbuster cinematic film, but it's that on wax, and it's just crazy how it was put together. And to Coop's point, like albums back then was like maybe 10 or 12 tracks, and they did this over like 19 joints. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's insane to me. And if somebody says this the greatest album of all time, I'm not mad at that. With the rhyming ability that they displayed on there, everybody brought their A game. Ghost being the supporting actor, the supporting cast, you could tell he was wanting to be a complimentary piece to Ray. He wasn't necessarily trying to outshine him, but it was like, yo, we're going to get on this track together and we're going to blaze it and make it dope. You know what I'm saying? Because the chemistry was off the charts from the first track on forward. And, you got the Raekwon solo mission, which is Incarcerated Scarfaces. But if you were a naysayer that says like, well, man, I can't put Ray that high because he had Ghost help him out on the whole album. You take Incarcerated Scarfaces as a solo mission, that's arguably a top 10 Wu song, period. And it's just Ray. Yeah, maybe 5. And it's just Ray by himself. So this album checks all the boxes, has everything. To the Nas point, like I said, I think that's the greatest feature of all time. And just RZA's production. And I for me, it's a movie, man. Every time I just get lost in the album when I put it on, So,
AG.
Say what?
AG, I think you said something really strong because you just made me realize something. Whoever's idea it was to put Ghost with Ray.
That's all RZA.
If that's RZA,
all RZA.
That chess move, the
genius,
pairing,
man,
is literally one of the 2 or 3 best genius moves in the history of rap.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I say about Scorsese, because you're gonna pick like, yo, in this scene, I want these 2 actors to play off each other in this scene to create a powerful scene. But we're gonna do this, throughout the course of a full movie. Like that's all RZA, man. Like I don't think he literally gets enough credit for how he orchestrated this thing.
Like, look here,
the accident. He was intentional about it.
When you said that, like, cause here's the thing: if this is a Raekwon album featuring like the other Wu-Tang artists, I actually think Liquid Swords and Supreme Clientele probably end up ahead of it.
Probably so.
But there is something about the pairing with Ghost on this album, the way they played off of each other. Like Knowledge God, Incarcerated Scarfaces, and Spot Rushers, those are 3 Ray solo joints. Those joints are phenomenal. So
let me ask, go ahead, Coop, my fault.
So there's no feeling on this project because of those 3 records that Ray can't handle the weight on his own. Knowledge God, Incarcerated Scarface, and Spot Rusher should let you know it's like he can handle it on his own. But when you hear them together on stuff like Criminology, Rainy Days, Glaciers of Ice, like when you hear them on those records together, you're like, this is perfect. Like, who thought this is perfect? Putting like Criminology is probably the record that we heard first where we were like, oh shit. Like this sounds immaculate. Like this is perfect. Like Glaciers of Ice is the shit, but Master Killer to me is like the scene stealer on Glaciers
But,
of Ice.
but let's rewind back a little bit though. If you're RZA, imagine how genius you got to be, because for a litmus test, we don't know what's in the vaults, but all you have to go off of is
Can it
can it be all is so simple?
right?
And you get that, and you say like, you know what?
Hold on.
I can make a whole album of this.
But hold on. Here's what's crazy about it. I don't even know if that's a top 5 song on Enter the Wu-Tang.
It might not be.
That's what's crazy about the pairing and trusting the pairing.
Right.
Like, trusting the pairing, it's like you just made one of the greatest rap albums of all time. People would argue with you. First of all, people will tell you Protect Your Neck is better, because it is. Cream is better. I think Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With and Chess Boxing are better. So it would between, like, for me, I think Clan in the Front and Method Man are better. So, like, for me, on a good day, Can It Be Also Simple might be the 6th or 7th best song on this album.
But
so
it's the chemistry.
in that. But the trust in the, so that's what I'm saying, to trust in the chemistry and be like, I know that this is like a 6-man off the bench and my 3rd best player. But I think if I take my 6th man off the bench and my 3rd best player, I think if I put them together, I think they're gonna win the championship. It's like, no, nigga, that's not how you win championships. Like, people forget. No, people forget. People expected Method Man and Old Dirty Bastard to win the championship. Ray and Ghost the one that brought the ring home.
They did.
Ray and Ghost the one that brought the ring home.
And here's the thing I love about it.
Purple Tape is what made the Wu-Tang thing a moment. Not
absolutely.
36 Chambers in DeKalb. It became a thing when the Purple Tape came out. It became a moment when Liquid Swords dropped. It became epic when Iron Man dropped. That's Ray. So 2 of the 3 albums that matter most to their legacy, in terms of the legacy they built, well, it's a Ray album featuring Ghost, and then it's a Ghost album featuring Ray.
That's a perfect
album sprinkled in between. Like,
that's a perfect segue, Coop, because I was about to say what I love most about this as a partnership. Ghost got his own solo joint on Cuban Linx, and Ray got his own solo joint on Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know it's no egos at play.
Let me ask you something. Faster Blade better than Wisdom Body, though.
It's a toss-up for me.
No, I like Wisdom Body better. I like Wisdom Body better.
I think Wisdom
Body is crazy, though. Like,
I think
Wisdom
how about
Body
this? Like a splitting hairs, I think Wisdom Body is the weakest track on Only Built for Cuban Linx.
Okay, so that was going to go to my next question before we get out of here. Like, before we get out of here, let's like not necessarily top 5, because I think we'll all like kind of group into the same, but let's all like name, if we're going to spin the album today, what's the first 5 joints we're going to go to? Like, I want to hear these 5.
Ice Water. I want to hear Ice Water every day.
Right. I love Ice Water. What's your other 4?
Ice Water is my shit. I want to hear Ice Water. Man, it's so many records. See, this is where this album is special, because it has about 12 to 13 special records.
Oh, absolutely.
So Ice Water, like personally, Ice Water, Glaciers of Ice are must.
2.
Incarcerated Scarfaces.
3.
I'm really partial to Rainy Days.
I love Rainy Days.
I love Rainy Days. Like, Rainy Days is my shit. The way Ghost set off Rainy Days is special to me. So it would be those. As crazy as it may seem, and as much as a Nas fan that I am, and even though I think he's the greatest MC of all time, I don't know if Verbal Intercourse is a top 5 song on the Purple Tape, because I do prefer the Crew shit. So I would tell you Guillotine would probably be my 5th.
Love Guillotine. That would be my. Ours is real similar. Like, if I'm putting an album on right now, I'm running to definitely Guillotine. I'm definitely playing Ice Water. Definitely playing Rainy Days. When the album first dropped in real time in '95, Rainy Days was my favorite song.
Me too. Me too.
I'm probably going Knuckleheads and
No, Knuckleheads ain't even in my top 10. That's what's crazy about the album.
Yeah, and this is just joints I'm running to that I want to hear. This is not necessarily my top 5. And my 5th joint might be Criminology.
See, Criminology and Knuckleheads never even make my list, AG. That's how crazy the album is to me.
Yeah, the album's insane. What you got, Sean?
Mine is a little bit. Mine is more in sequence.
Oh, okay.
Really cool. Mine is more in sequence. Knuckleheads is, to me, is a tone setter. Every time I put this album on, I go straight to Knuckleheads. I need Knuckleheads first. Knowledge God. And the reason why Knowledge God is just because of the beat is so ill. Then you in the background, you got sniffing the coke in the background.
Yeah, they was wilding on that. Yeah,
But he's wilding on that. And then you go straight into criminology. I mean, the
sequencing is flawless, right? The sequencing is flawless on the purple tape.
I got it. When I put this record on, when I put this album on, I have to start from the top and go to the bottom.
Like, I don't think you understand. I could do a 3-hour show breaking this album down.
Easily.
Like, track by track. Easily.
What's crazy, nobody even mentioned Wu Gambino's like that. You know, that's how strong this album is.
How about this? Here's what I tell you. I don't think there's a rap album. If we were rating songs on a 5 out of 5 level, I don't think any rap album has more 5s than the purple tape.
Nah, that's facts.
That's what I would tell you. It's like, okay, so let's say, like, objectively, it's like Knuckleheads, like 4 to 4.5. 4.25. Knowledge God, 4.5. Criminology, 5. Incarcerated Scarfaces, 5. Rainy Days, 5. Guillotine, 5.
Yep.
Can it be also Simple Remix, 4. Ice Water, 4.5. Glacier's Ice, 5. Verbal Intercourse, 5. Wisdom Body, 4. Spot Rushers, 4.5. Ice Cream, 5. Wu Gambino's 5. It got like 7 to 9 perfect songs on the album. Easily.
Guillotine, you said 5, and this is a hot take, but I might like Dex verse on Guillotine better than on Triumph. I'm just saying. I love that verse.
Hold on. AG, in a lot of ways, I agree with you because how about this? The guy that's the technical verbal assassin on Triumph doesn't have the energy and the feel of that guy on Guillotine. Poisonous Paragraph, Smash the Phonograph in half, and be the deck on a warpath. Like, no, those first, like the guy that's on Triumph is better technically, but that's the thing about the purple tape. The purple tape has a feel.
It forces you. It forces you to bring your best effort.
And it's the Poisonous Paragraph, Smash the Phonograph in half, and be the inspector deck on the warpath.
Yo, Jizza heard what Dex spit on that, and he was like, "Nah, bro, let me get this spin."
I got mad styles on my own, and it's showing my hands grip the chrome microphone.
Yeah. They wasn't playing on that one.
It wasn't playing. I'm gonna see this last 2 points, and then
record breaking the album Thriller.
Yeah,
what you got, Sean?
2 points so we get up out of here because I had 2 theories that I remember sharing these 2 theories years ago when this album came out, because we used to debate this album like crazy in the hood. And back to what you guys were saying about, you know, how RZA was able to figure out how to put Ray and Ghost together. And I had this theory that the ad lib at the end of it was the end of Can It Be Also Simple, that back into that when Ghost, you know, was like Sunshine plays an important part in the daytime, and then Ray came back, you know, and said his part.
Carry a black 9, nigga.
Word up.
I told my boy, I said, that's where RZA saw something, because that was more of an ad lib back and forth. Like that was, I thought that was a theory of mine. The other,
I'm rolling.
The other piece I felt like the reason why Ray needed Ghost on his album, this entire album, because this is the first time we had someone who had a solo album and had someone as a guest feature in the entire album, like as a, you know, solo project where someone is literally like your co-star.
I never thought about that, Sean. Hold on, Sean.
Never seen it.
Stop for a second. That was the first time we saw something like that. We never seen a guest appearance on a rap album like this before.
Never.
Like nobody. Like what? It's like 17, 18 tracks. Ghost is on 11. 12.
The only thing that would compare would be Snoop on the Chronic. That's the only thing that you could say.
And I actually think this album is better than the Chronic, as crazy as that seems.
Absolutely.
I agree.
About the second half, because the second half is smoke. Like, how about this? I don't know. Here's how great this album is. I don't know if there's a song on the second half of the Chronic that's better than the second half of the Purple Tape, and it's the Chronic.
That's fair.
This one's
Stranded on Death Row. Stranded on Death Row might be better than a couple of
And he pulling hairs in, but what I was thinking was this: the first time you had someone like that, then you also had them on the cover of your album. not only are they a guest feature, but they're also on the cover of your solo album.
It was marketed as such.
Marketed as such.
Yeah.
And the last piece to that, I had the argument, and this is like here, I was like my teenage, I was 15 and 16, but I also stated that the weight of the beats, the weight of the production was for one artist on an entire album, the weight of the production, because the production was so grandioso and it was so like intricate, you needed another palette. You could not use that same Raekwon tone.
So
you needed Ghost, fire, and energy on a lot of those.
No, see, here's where RZA is special, is that because of Ray's attacking style on the mic, and because of his voice, he actually made beats that were fit for Ray. And that's where Ghost is special. That's where Ghost is special on these albums, is that no, these beats are more Ray inclined in terms of the approach, the choppiness. Like the beats are choppy and hard hitting, like Ray's flow.
Yeah, because Iron Man is a different chamber.
It's a different.
Right.
It's a soulful chamber. You go to that soulful style. Yeah.
But this is the beautiful blend between them. It's just like, well, damn. Ghost sound almost as good and sometimes better on Ray style beats on the Purple Tape, and Ray sound better on some of the Iron Man's. Like it's crazy how good it's crazy how good they sound together.
Those albums are two sides of the same coin.
At the end of the day, what makes the album so special? It's how good they sound together.
Yes,
that's
because
the core.
They needed each other's personality. Cuban Linx needed Ghost's personality because Ghost changed the inflection of what Ray was spitting.
He did. Like, how about this? He's catching the hi-hat, the criminology, while Ray's catching the bass line.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. There you go. And vice versa when Ray came back on Iron Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
that's
Ghost
why it's like when you listen to Faster, right? When you listen to Faster Blade, it's like, well, I don't know if Ghost should be rapping over this beat.
Exactly.
You know? Like 260. 260 is more built for Ghost, but Ray sounds better on 260. It's like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yes.
Because these albums are 1 year apart, guys.
1 year apart. 1 year apart.
Imagine those studio sessions, you recording that much fire together within 1 year. It's insane.
Fish sounds better for Ray.
Yeah.
Even listen to Black Jesus.
Like,
yo, that RZA lost his mind on that beat.
How about this? Black Jesus could have gone on the Purple Tape. Black Jesus could have gone on the Purple Tape.
Yeah. And the sequence, imagine that behind Knowledge God. Like, yo, crazy.
Or imagine it after Wu Gambinos. Imagine Black Jesus after Wu Gambinos.
Yeah, crazy. We can talk about it's midnight, guys. We can talk about Cuban Linx all day.
Yeah, we need to do this shit was fun. I love talking. Y'all know I love talking Wu.
No doubt.
Good show, fellas. Thank you all for the chat. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate all of y'all hopping in tonight, relaxing with us, maxing with us, everything we were doing tonight. We went through a lot of different topics, and we thank you all for tuning in. We thank you all for the chats. Thank you all for the engagement. We appreciate everything you all are doing. Continue to help us move the needle. Continue to help us subscribe to more people, to get the word out there, to Hip Hop Talks, from our Discord to our Facebook to our Twitter, and also to YouTube. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. Peace. We out.
Peace,
Look
y'all.
here. Next step is 2,000 subs. Let's get there. Like and subscribe to the tribe.
Tell a friend. Peace.